sass in every way. Talking fast, not a pause in sight. Leanie's got my head in a spin tonight. Oh, shut up, Leanie, can't you see? You talk so much, it's drowning me. With your white hair and sassy flair, just give me a breath, let me share. Podcast queen with a wicked smile, running jokes mile after mile. Try to speak, but in she slides. Leanie makes it a wild ride. It a wild ride. Oh, shut up, Leanie, can't you see? You talk so much, it's drowning me. With your white hair and sassy flair, just give me a breath, let me share. Oh, Leanie, don't get me wrong, can't imagine life without your song. But girl, you've gotta let me in. This ain't just your show to win. So here I stand with my mic in hand, trying to keep this show as planned. Leanie laughs, guess it's gonna stay a little secret every day. So here I stand with my mic in hand, trying to keep this show as planned. Leanie laughs, guess it's gonna stay a little secret every day. Oh, shut up, Leanie, can't you see? You talk so much, it's drowning me. With your white hair and sassy flair, just give me a breath, let me share. Let me share. Oh, Leanie, don't get me wrong, can't imagine life without your song. But girl, you've gotta let me. This ain't just your show to win. Oh, shut up, Leanie, can't you see? You talk so much, it's drowning me. With your white hair and sassy flair, just give me a breath, let me share. Oh, Leanie, don't get me wrong, can't imagine your life without your song. But girl, you've gotta let me. This ain't just your show to win. So here I stand with my mic in hand, trying to keep this show as planned. Leanie laughs, guess it's gonna stay a little secret every day. So here I stand with my mic in hand, trying to keep this show as planned. Leanie laughs, guess it's gonna stay a little secret every day. Oh, 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 oh. It started with a chat, just a few of us there, talking about life and the stuff we all share. From kids to chaos and the mess we make, we bonded over laughs and every mistake. From bad hair days to a joke or two, no topic was off limits, nothing taboo. We laughed till we cried, had each other's backs. A sisterhood formed in the middle of tracks. Sisterhood of the chat, we're strong and we're loud. From West Virginia, Liverpool, we're proud. From Texas to Australia, we've got the best. Lifting each other up, we pass every test. From the East Coast to the West, we cheer. From Indiana to New York, we're always here. From late night texts to early morning calls, we've been through it all, big and small. From talking fashion to the crazy stuff, we got each other's backs when life gets tough. We send memes and pics of the day gone wrong and the occasional "can you believe this song?" We share everything, no secrets to keep, like a wild dream that we never want to sleep. Sisterhood of the chat, we're strong and we're loud. From West Virginia, Liverpool, we're proud. From Texas to Australia, we've got the best. Lifting each other up, we pass every test. From the East Coast to the West, we cheer. From Indiana to New York, we're always here. From Tennessee, where the music plays, to sweet tea nights and lazy days. From England's hills to the country roads, our sisterhood's a bond that forever grows. Sisterhood of the chat, we're strong and we're loud. From West Virginia, Liverpool, we're proud. From Texas to Australia, we've got the best. Lifting each other up, we pass every test. From the East Coast to the West, we cheer. From Indiana to New York, we're always here. Through the highs and the lows, we've been there. When the world feels heavy, we just don't care. We're loud, we're bold, we're a little bit wild. but always there for each other, with hearts so mild. Sisterhood of the chat, we're strong and we're loud. From West Virginia, Liverpool, we're proud. From Texas to Australia, we've got the best. Lifting each other up, we pass every test. From the East Coast to the West, we cheer. From Indiana to New York, we're always here. So here's to the sisters who make life so sweet. We've got each other, no defeat. From the chat to the heart, it's all the same. We're a sisterhood forever in the friendship game. According to Leanie, the eclipse is to blame, but truly the Lord brought us together, and we'll never be the same.
Hello, hello, welcome. Thank you guys so much for being here. Wow, I appreciate it so much. Thank y'all. Listen, I have got 2 devices going right now, so I'm trying to make sure that I can see both chat. We're struggling with that, and we can't even blame the eclipse this time. I blame the eclipse for everything, but it's just YouTube trying to figure out how to do double streaming, I think. There's a lot of chat. Let me make sure that I'm plugged in here. There's a lot of chat that's not even coming through. I noticed today that Mags and Lizzo had some problems with that as well, because half of mine, I was in their chat, and half of mine weren't even being posted on either channel. So I'm sorry about that. We're doing the best that we can. We just got to wait on StreamYard or YouTube or whoever's doing it just to figure it out. It's good to see everybody. Thank you for being here. Big shout out to our manager of our channel, that's Lunch Lady. She writes all of our songs here, and we're kind of proud of them. We think we're proud of them. We like them. We dance to them. We sing them when we're not even online. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Maggie and Lizzo for running some really badass lives during the day. You guys keeping this going, keeping us all up to date on play-by-plays that are happening. I feel like this case is ever changing, and just when you think you've got something figured out, and maybe this is it, maybe this is it, it feels like it changes, and it's working my nerves, to tell you the truth. Good to see everybody. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. It matters not to me. I don't know that it makes any difference, but just let the algorithm know that you have interacted with this channel in some sort of way. That's all I ask. You don't even have to sub up when I'm here. Just sub up to Maggie and Liz. Thank you guys. I appreciate it so much. Let's see who else here. I can see this chat. I think I'm in the wrong chat on both of them. Anyways, Mary J. Doe. Hello, Dawn. Good to see you again. Thank you for being here. Lolly's in the house. She's been painting her new house like crazy. Wild Angels in here. Rapper, good to see you. Good to see everybody over there in the other stream. Let me try to, obviously I pulled up the wrong one because I can't see chat over there. Oh, mercy. Oh, this just sucks so bad. Let's try this one. See if it, see. All right. Okay. Nope. It's still showing the same chat. And I can prove it to you guys. I can put my chat up on screen and show you guys that we are not ignoring anybody here. It's just only what StreamYard or YouTube or both of them together are letting us see, because on my iPad I'm in just only the vertical live, and on my computer I am on StreamYard. So I should be seeing everybody's chat, but unfortunately it's just not going that way. Thanks everybody for being here once again. Hit that thumbs up, thumbs down, and let's get going where we left off earlier today. When Maggie and Lizzo closed out their live, I think they were following around JLR. Shout out to JLR. We love him around here. We appreciate all of his work that he does. And more so, we appreciate him for doing the works and letting us other people that can't go to Arizona use his work so that we can get it to everybody and keep the word out and keep Nancy on everybody's mind and lips. Prayers to the Guthrie family, y'all, and major prayers to Nancy wherever she may be, and whether she's in the Lord's arms or whether she is in somebody else's. I pray she's been well taken care of. All right, so Liz and Maggie left off today following JLR to the police station. When she closed it out, I think JLR was actually leaving, and I found out what was going on there. There was some news in the chat that was saying that to go to the police station because there was some polygraphs being put out. People taking polygraphs, but I think by the time poor JLR got there, they had already been done and went home. So I haven't listened to these. I just pulled them up, you guys. My voice is a little bit better than it's been. I had to take last night off for a mental health break and for my voice. So if I start crackling or my voice gets even deeper than what it already is, can't help it. That's what happens when you stream nonstop. Well, it feels like nonstop, but I mean, every day we've been streaming twice a day on this channel. All right, here we go. Let's pull up some Brian Enton. Shout out to him. Thank you for letting us use your content as well and keeping us in the loop. Oh, Brian, we love you over here. Listen, let me just point out right now that this is a fair use disclaimer. Copyright Act of 1976 gives allowance for this content to be used for purposes of criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research, you guys. So we are using this as one or all of that, and we've got it scrolling at the bottom of our screen. So YouTube, do not come after me. All right, so he's got 2 new shorts up, you guys. He's got the 411 on what was going on at the police department today with polygraph. So let's take a listen to that. Watch your ears, please, because I cannot control your volumes.
Hey guys, all right, so something new that I've confirmed, there have been polygraph tests that have been used in the Nancy Guthrie case to clear people in the case. I just confirmed that. Polygraph tests, of course, are lie detector tests. They are not admissible in a court of law, so they don't stand up in court, but I know from other stories that I've covered and cases that I've covered, they're used pretty frequently by law enforcement behind the scenes. They're used by the FBI, and they can, if they want to clear someone, they can have them take a polygraph test and sort of, clear them that way. If they think that they had nothing to do with it, but they just want to make sure, they can have them take a polygraph test. And I am told that polygraph tests have been used in the Nancy Guthrie investigation and continue to be used. So that's the latest from I'm outside Nancy's house. And I'm trying to think if there's been any other updates. I told you guys about the Mexico situation. FBI is now talking to investigators in Mexico. So I'll let you guys know if anything else develops. All right, see you.
Thank you, Brian. We appreciate that. Juanita Tucker, thank you so much for the bronze medal and the 50 jewels. We appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Please hit the thumbs up, the thumbs down. And P, so good to see you, honey. Thank you for coming in. I have a question about polygraph. Maybe you guys know it. I don't. I know it's not admissible in court, but there's some really good liars in this world. I mean, I guess, and then, I've heard people failing them because of their nerves or what. I feel like I'd fail it. I think I'd fail it. If it's on nerves, I think I would fail it. My palms and shit would be all sweaty. Oh, it would be terrible. You guys, I'd be scared to death to take a polygraph test, but if I was innocent or guilty, but I absolutely would do it if it would help move the investigation along. You know what I mean? I mean, all you can do is pray and tell the truth, and hopefully it's read right. All right. So after he posted this one from earlier today, he came back, Brian Enton, that is, came back with an update about the polys. So let me find that really quick. And this one was a little while ago that he posted. So let's see what he
Hey guys, something I wanted to point out, my report earlier, you guys saw where I reported, sorry, it's really dark out here, by the way. I reported that that law enforcement is using polygraphs to clear people from the Nancy Guthrie investigation. And my buddy, Matt Finn, who is a very good reporter for Fox, I was just looking at his Twitter. He apparently spoke with the sheriff this evening, and the sheriff said, "Oh, the polygraphs that people are seeing at the sheriff's office, they're actually for new hires." And I just wanted to clarify, when I am talking about them using polygraphs to clear people, I'm not talking about polygraphs today. I don't know anything about polygraphs happening today. The polygraphs that I can report on, that I've confirmed through sources, were not done today. In fact, I don't think they were even done. Sorry, my shadow for my phone. I don't even think they were done in the last couple of days, but I know that they were done. So I'm not talking about polygraphs done today at the sheriff's office. The sheriff is saying the polygraphs done today, apparently he says, were for new hires, which, you know, when you become a cop, you usually have to take a polygraph. So I just wanted to clarify that, because some of you guys are like, oh, you know, what you reported, now the sheriff is saying it's wrong. I think it's like two separate things. At least what I'm reporting is not polygraphs today. All right, see ya.
Good comeback. Well, I appreciate him for clearing that up. But do we believe anything the sheriff has to say at this point? I don't. Is the sheriff going to say, oh, yeah, we had some people in here. We're polygraphing people, you know, for the case. I just don't think the sheriff is going to tell us that, y'all. I don't believe a word the man has to say anymore. I just don't. And it's not that because of what we've heard other officers and law enforcement come out and say. It's not about that. It's just about how we've seen him react, the words that he has thrown out of his mouth on his own interviews that he's given. This man, in my opinion, is so incompetent. There it is. Boom. Damage, good to see you, Love Bug. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate everybody. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, the thumbs down. Doesn't matter to me. It's just, I think it's going to let the algorithm know that you interacted with the channel, and that means the most to me out of anything that could ever happen. So I've been thinking for the last couple days, like since Friday night, when all that happened Friday night and all of us were worked up. I ate so many antacids, you guys. I was so sick from the freaking antacids. And you guys, if you were here, you remember Friday. Friday was crazy around here. Poor Maggie and Lizzo, I don't even think they got any sleep. They were trying to hang on for that magical moment when they come out and say, we got him. And then come to find out the sheriff tells us, oh, we're following a lead. Oh, and then comes Saturday and Sunday. I know for me, I hit the floor. I was just like, wow. I mean, oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. And I just felt like the air was punched out of the channel after that, because I just knew it. I just really had a good feeling about it. But I get chill bumps at Charmin commercials. I mean, to tell you the truth, I work myself up and I get excited and I get, that's just who I am. And I got really, really excited over that. And I just wanted to see that jerk without a mask on. Dawn had chills that day. Yeah, we were all just nuts that day. I don't think anybody got any sleep. And I remember being live and thinking, I'm so glad this is happening on a Friday where most people hopefully did not have to get up Saturday morning, because I knew everybody was having trouble sleeping to go to work. So I was grateful that it happened on a Friday night. But man, what a gut punch, you guys. Oh man, I was so excited. I just knew we were going to see that face without a mask. And not that I could reach out and punch him or kick him in the nuts or anything like that. But I mean, I'm going to do something to make myself feel better, like cuss him out when I'm staring at him on my TV, and maybe even here too. I don't know. We'll see how I react to that. Protonics works great. I've always got an upset stomach. It's just the thing that came with childbirth. I've just got one of those stomachs. And it reacts to every emotion I have. My stomach does react to every emotion I have. So then I was thinking a couple days ago, we're now all the way back into Thursday. We're almost a week away from that eventful night that we all stood up and just, we're almost a week away. And I thought, you know what? At some point, we're going to have to go back. It's what we did on, hold on, y'all. My puppy is right here. And can you guys still hear me? Puppy, no baby. I don't want him to unplug me. So at some point we're going to have to go back. We're going to have to pull up some old, I think, at least for me, I don't tell Maggie how her and Lizzo, what we don't do that. Like, I found something that her chat was asking about today, and Lizzo said that she hasn't found anything on it. I ended up finding something. I sent it to them, but we don't talk about what each other's going to talk about or how we're going to cover it. And this wasn't even planned, y'all. Just so you know, there was never any communication between me and Maggie, and then adding Lizzo into it that, hey, I'll do the midnight shift if you guys can do the day shift. Little boy, no, you can't have that, buddy. Y'all, he sees that cord plugged into that computer. So if you can't hear me for a minute, that's what happened. I've got a 4-month-old puppy, and he's learning. He's having to learn. But anyways, we do listen to each other's lives, especially the end, because we kind of want to see where we left off. And then when they get off their live, they'll touch base with me. I touch base with them, or usually they'll hear me at the end because they'll come in and just sit in the bushes or whatever, because they're probably exhausted from the night before. But anyway, so that's how I knew where they had left off, because I actually try to stay I try to stay in chat as well when they're running the live. So this is not how it was ever supposed to be. We didn't plan it to be like this. It's just the way that we fell into this, because Maggie and Lizzo are both over in the UK. They're 5 hours difference from me. So them coming on right now would be 5 o'clock and 5:30 in the morning for them. That's just too much to ask, you guys. And so this is how it ended up. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that we're able to run 2 different lives so that we can try to reach as many people. All of us work different shifts, have different lives, we're all living in a different hour, time frame. And so hopefully we've been able to reach people and just give them an update on what's going on. Dawn says, I heard somewhere, now I might be wrong, but there was a damaged car in the house that was raided, apparently got impounded, and that Kayla girl got arrested and sitting in Pima County jail. I haven't heard anything about that, but I do know, if you guys remember, I pulled up Brian Inton the day after the raid. He went to the house to go try to get an interview, and then we talked about it. We saw the car sitting over on the side, and I thought it was airbags. Now other people said, I think they reported that it was actually an insurance company that came and picked up the car, because I think JLR said that there was a wrecker or whatever that was there to pick up the car. So I think Brian Inton reported that he had talked to somebody, and they said that it wasn't the sheriff's doing it. That car was already wrecked, and it was for insurance purposes that they were picking it up. And it made sense because they didn't see any police out there when they were picking that car up. But yeah, it had some severe front end damage. I did send Maggie and Lizzo because I think there's some confusion about who Kayla is. I think I've got it figured out. And you guys, my source is Vinnie Politan. Let me pull this up really quick because I sent it to them. And they'll cover it tomorrow on theirs as well. Let's see. Okay, so Vinnie Politan put this out on his Facebook page, and I know that people were talking about it in their chat earlier today. He said, for those questioning Kayla Day's relationship to Nancy Guthrie, here you go. And then he's got it clipped or whatever that from his source, and it says, it's an obituary, actually. It says, Nancy Guthrie, Ann Pritchard Hansen, Anne Pritchard Hansen is Savannah Guthrie's late aunt, her father's sister. Anne had a daughter, and her name was Terry Stauffer, whichever you said. I'm probably butchering it. So Anne, the aunt that's deceased, that was Savannah Guthrie's aunt, her father's sister, had a daughter named Terry, which would make that Savannah's cousin, first cousins, right? Terry had a daughter named Kayla Day, who she had already given birth to by the time she came into Savannah Guthrie's family. So by blood, no, they were not related, just only by marriage. I hope that's made some sense. If not, then I can take a picture of it, put it up on my screen. You can read it and try to make sense of that if you need to. So that's what we know about that. That's not to say that they didn't grow up together. I'm sure they did. If they lived in the Tucson area together, I'm sure. Doesn't matter if they're a step cousin or whatever. I mean, shoot, she was married into the family. So they're not family by blood, but they're family. It's just the way I look at family different. I've had many bonus kids through the years that have lived with me. And I've got one here now. It's not blood at all, but I've had him here since he was in the 8th grade. And I love that kid like he is my kid, and he's leaving me in June. I'm very sad. All right, so there is the thing. Now, I don't know if Kayla is in jail. I don't know nothing about that, or they just said that the car that they towed away had nothing to do with the Nancy Guthrie case. That's all I know. That's what Brian reported. And listen, if somebody's going to get the 411, it's going to be old Brian. All right, so I found this. Like I said, I feel like at some point, maybe starting on Monday, we'll get through the weekend. Looks like some weekend things usually happen, unless it falls on Valentine's or whatever, which is the stupidest holiday ever invented. But anyways, maybe something. I mean, Maggie said she feels really good about something happening soon, like something big. She said she feels it, and I'm glad she does, because right now I still feel defeated in this. I'm still like, oh my God, where is she? But I'm thinking if we're still on the slow pace through the weekend, I think Monday we're going to start going back over just the beginnings of what happened in the beginning, what we knew, what we thought, what was thrown out, what has been determined not to be a part of it, a part of this case, what they've added to it, things like that. I think we've got to maybe start from word go again. Someone is going to snitch on someone. There's the hope, because I did hear today that the police said that they are not ruling out that there's more than one perp. Y'all listen, I'm just going to tell you, I think the police already know how many people are there. That one camera, that one Nest camera, and then the second one, those weren't the only Nest cameras that were there. You guys, we know they pulled a camera off of the roof over in the guest house. We know. I mean, it doesn't make sense not to have a camera in the back of the house, especially, how many doors are on the damn house, you guys. I've never seen so many doors on a house. You can definitely tell that the house has been added onto since they moved into it. Now, they've lived there a long time. Of course, we did pull up when the house was bought, how long they've owned it. Apparently, Nancy Guthrie bought it back in it's a 1969 house, and they've lived there since 72 or 74. So Savannah Guthrie and her siblings grew up in that home. And the reason why I wanted to look at it is because I was hoping it would have, sometimes you can go here in the States, if you're not from the States, you can go to like a realtor app, and they'll have old pictures of a house, right? Even if the house is already sold, like my house that I sold 4 years ago, my pictures are still on that house, even though it says that it's already sold, right? So that I didn't know how long she had lived in that house. So I found it with Lizzo's help. She had got me some addresses, and we were able to find out they bought it for I want to say it was it $58,000? You guys, my head is, I've got so many numbers and names and stuff in my head. I'm trying to remember it all. Is nuts. But now it's worth 1 point something million dollars. So I mean, that was a great investment. I think I have figured out, I think I may be wrong, but I think I have figured out exactly where the master bedroom is in that house. And what I got to do tomorrow, I've got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow, but my next thing is to like go and peep on houses that are on her street that recently have been for sale, and which you guys could do it too, to just peep into the house and see what's been for sale. Those houses are, you know, one time they were probably all built by the same builders. So you can definitely tell just by looking at the roof of her house that it's been added onto. So I think if we go start snooping a little bit at other houses in the area, we might be able to glean more information. I really do want to know where the master bedroom was, just in case. I mean, they haven't come out and said that Nancy was in bed. But just in case. I don't know why that's important to me, but it is. Dawn says, that was crazy if what you found on that, especially who owned the house that was raided. Yeah, I found that too. And yeah, I don't want to put their names out because, I mean, you guys can find it too. It's not hard to find. You just go on, you type it into your search engine, the address of the house. It'll bring it up. It tells you the property history. You could see who bought it when and all this other stuff. And yeah. And then we also, you know, looked at the house that Annie and Tomato, Potato are living in, and they're renting. Sometimes I looked through, that's what I went looking for. I wanted the photos of inside the house, just what it looked like and get a layout of it. They've lived there too long. There's no photos. Too long. Not too, I mean, I'm glad they got a family home, but I'm just saying there's no photos on and I looked through, there's no reason to. I mean, the house is old. All right. So I think on Monday, we're going to go back through and just start again and I'm going to go back over my notes and stuff like that and cross out what we know for sure just doesn't fit anymore. Do y'all hear that? My puppy. I'm sorry. Give me just a second, Don. Sorry, you guys. I'm distracted by my pups. So yeah. So Monday, I think I'm going to start that, and then also I'm going to snoop some houses on the internet and try to find if we can find some kind of layout to at least what it was. No, don't be sorry, Don. Don't be sorry at all. I'll let you come up in just a few minutes. I'd love to hear from you. I heard you on Maggie's panel. It was so nice to hear your voice. All right, let me put this out there. This is I was looking for somewhere that had a timeline already. There's been a couple timelines that have been released already, you guys. And this is the closest that I can find to today's date, which is in the morning now to me where I'm at. I'm in Indiana. So it's 12:40 here. Over in the UK, it's 5:40, and in Australia, it's 12 hours from me, or 14. I can't remember at this time. So maybe the Aussies will be coming in pretty soon. All right, I want to pull this up, Dawn. Since we pulled this up and I read it, you can come on up, girlfriend. But I don't want to get myself sidetracked because I can. Thank you guys for being here. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, the thumbs down. It really doesn't make a difference to me. Just let the algorithm know that you have participated with the stream. I appreciate it. All right, let's do this. Let me pull this up, and then we'll get Dawn up here with us and see what she has to say. All right, you guys. Again, fair use disclaimer, Copyright Act of 1976 gives allowance for this content to be used for purposes of criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Y'all, my voice is already going. It's already leaving. I can feel it. All right. Let me get me off. We don't need all that. And then I'll make this bigger so you guys can see it. Let me take that off the screen. All right. So my source, you guys, is USA Today. This was written 2 days ago. It's the closest. It's the closest to today's date, which would be the 19th, as I could find that anybody's got a timeline, the most recent updated timeline on this. So let's go ahead and read through this. This is also going to talk about things from the beginning to the end, because that's what the timeline is, right? And I think it's important to keep the timeline in. I need to write, after this is over, I'll redo my timeline on it, because I think some things have changed. Because the longer this goes on, unfortunately, the more we're going to get to add to the timeline. I'm telling you, there is more than just the footage that they're putting out. Now, the officer, sheriff, Mr. I don't know, says that they're waiting on Google to put out more, to give them more of the video so they could put it out. I don't know if that's true or not. Sounds legit to me, but I don't know. Who am I? I'm just a Leanie over here in Indiana running a channel. How long has Nancy Guthrie been missing? See updated timeline of the case. All right. So, and my mouse is also screwed up. Y'all, I'm just a hot mess over here, okay? It's just a hot mess going on. All right. Nancy Guthrie, the mother of today's show anchor Savannah Guthrie, has been missing for more than 2 weeks. The 84-year-old was reported missing from her home outside of Tucson, Arizona on February the 1st. And investigators have said they believe she was taken from her home against her will. That's one thing they haven't changed on, right? I mean, everybody else started saying, oh, it's a robbery gone wrong. It's a robbery gone wrong. Well, when they first came out, they said she was abducted. And then people started questioning whether it was a robbery gone wrong. Well, it doesn't take much common sense to see that this is not a robbery gone wrong. And they finally came out and said, no, it's not, which was good. Guthrie's disappearance has captured the nation's attention as local and federal authorities investigate leads and push for a break in the case. Here's a timeline of the search for Nancy Guthrie, starting with the latest findings in Savannah Guthrie's video pleas for answers to the last time her mother was seen. February 15th, gloves appear to match suspects. Savannah Guthrie says, we still have hope. That was the latest one that she did. It was on the 15th, you guys, and I've listened to it over and over, and I'm just as confused as I was the first time. I'm like, who the hell are you talking to? Like, can somebody let me in on what's going on here? Because I feel like I'm being left in the dark by the sheriff. In a new statement shared with USA Today on February 15th, the FBI said approximately 16 gloves have been collected near the Guthrie house, the majority of which were searchers' gloves that they discarded in various areas when they searched the vicinity. But investigators have also recovered gloves that appear to match the gloves of the subject in the surveillance video, released last week, showing a man at Nancy Guthrie's front door, according to the FBI. The gloves found in a field near the side of the road were sent to a private lab, and the FBI received preliminary results, but is awaiting quality control and official confirmation today before putting unknown male profile into its database. I've got something that's going to come up on that too. We're going to talk DNA. I learned a lot about that today. Y'all, I'm like a sponge. I'm just like, give me more. Y'all, I feel like I'm becoming a regular, what was the smarts guy? You guys remember back in the 60s, there was some guy and he had his phone, his shoe was a telephone. Max Smart. I don't remember what the show was called. Anyways, I feel like I'm becoming him. The Pima County Sheriff's previously confirmed that law enforcement collected DNA from Guthrie's home that did not belong to her or anyone else in close contact with her. And the investigators are working to identify who it belongs to. The department did not specify where the DNA was found. So we don't know where it was found in the home, and we don't know what kind of DNA, whether it's blood, saliva, semen, a fingerprint. We don't know. So if anybody tells you they know, the police said that they did not find a glove in their house. Now, like I said, take it with a grain of salt. But I mean, as of right now, I mean, they're the people that are supposed to be telling me the truth. So I have to go with it. But I mean, he was asked point blank, did you find a glove in the house? And he said no. So I'm taking out the glove out of the DNA things that they have found in the home. And all right. In her last video shared the evening of the 15th, Savannah Guthrie renewed her plea for her mother's return, sharing, "We still have hope. And I wanted to say to whoever has her or knows where she is that it's never too late. You're not lost or alone." Who? Y'all, like I said, go if you have not seen the latest video. All the videos are on Savannah Guthrie's Instagram page. I'm still blown away by "You're not lost or alone." Who are we telling that? Are we talking to the perps? I mean, on February 14th, we're going backwards, guys, going backwards. Local authorities continued the search. In an update on Saturday, February the 14th, the Pima County Sheriff's Department said investigators executed a court-ordered search at an Arizona residence the previous evening. That was Friday night. That was the crazy, crazy Friday night that I'll never forget. The warrant was based on a lead that investigators received, the department said, but no arrests were made. The Sheriff's Department also confirmed that investigators conducted a traffic stop the day before and questioned a person in connection with the case. But this did not result in an arrest. Little girl, get down, little girl. Sorry. On February 13th, ransom impersonator in court. Derek Kalila, I think I'm saying that right. If not, I apologize. 42 of Hawthorne, California, appeared in court on February the 13th following charges of sending a demand for ransom in interstate commerce and making a phone call without disclosing his identity with the intent to abuse, threaten, or harass a person, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Arizona. The criminal complaint says, through a course of investigation, it was found that Kalila was acting as an imposter. I think a lot of that's going on, if you ask me, trying to take advantage of an ongoing situation. Like I said, my mouse is screwed. On February the 12th, new details and a suspect. In a social media post shared February the 12th, the FBI's Phoenix field office confirmed the person seen in Guthrie's doorbell camera footage is a suspect in the case and shared a physical description of the man. Now they're saying it's a man, you guys. I know some people are out there saying, hold up, looks like a female. I'm not saying either or. I mean, I feel like it's a man, but them eyes, y'all, them eyes. The FBI says the figure seen at the doorbell camera footage is a male, approximately 5'9" to 5'10" tall, with the average build, who is wearing a black 25-liter Ozark Trail hiker pack backpack. These details were confirmed after a forensic analysis of footage, said the FBI. We hope this update description will help concentrate the public tips we are receiving. Since February the 1st, 2026, the FBI has collected over 13,000 tips from the public related to this case. Now, today they came out and said that they've got 40,000 tips. I don't know if that is split between the FBI and the police department. I don't know, you guys. On February the 10th, a man is detained and released. Doorbell images published. A man was detained in Rio Rico, Arizona, in connection with the abduction, but it was later released after questioning. According to a statement obtained by USA Today, the evening of February 10th, the man told Fox that he makes deliveries in the area. February 10th was also when FBI Director Kash Patel released surveillance photos via X of an armed person tampering with Nancy Guthrie's front door camera the morning of February 1st. The new images come from the video that was recovered from residual data location in back-end systems, according to the FBI director. All right, on February the 7th, Savannah Guthrie post her third video response. As her and her siblings sent a new message to their mother's kidnapper in a third video released on February the 7th. She says, "We received your message and we understand." Savannah Guthrie said in February 7th video posted on Instagram, "We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us and we will pay." No comment right now. On February the 6th, another ransom note. The FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Department said authorities received yet another note regarding Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, according to a February 6th X post. X is the former, what the hell did they call it? Twitter. Arizona news station KOLD confirmed on social media that it also received a note on February 6th. On February 5th, ransom note deadline passes. Second Guthrie video. Blood confirmed at Guthrie's. As the first deadline that was allegedly mentioned in the ransom letter came and went at 5 p.m. local time on February the 5th, Savannah Guthrie posted another video on Instagram, this time from her brother Cameron Guthrie. Speaking directly to the person who might be holding our mother, Cameron Guthrie said, "We want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know you have our mom." On February, I missed one. In a press conference on February the 5th, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos revealed new details of the search, including that blood found on the porch of Nancy Guthrie's home was confirmed belonging to her. "The only DNA evidence we got back is on the porch," he said. "We saw the importance of that blood. It came back to Nancy. Too damn bad they didn't see the importance of gathering the map that was outside of her door that the dude was standing all over and could have actually left some touch DNA on it. But hey, who am I? If you guys need you a new doormat, they might be giving it away over there. Shit, the police don't want it. Sorry, I'm being sickening, y'all, but it just makes me so mad. I have no law enforcement training whatsoever, but even I know the dude is stepping all over the doormat. Why wasn't it collected? Why? Someone tell me why. I want to know. On February 4th, Savannah Guthrie responds to the ransom note. In a video posted to Instagram the evening of February 4th, Savannah Guthrie and her siblings referenced unverified ransom notes sent to both TMZ and a CBS-affiliated Cold News saying, "As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know without a doubt that she's alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Please reach out to us," the NBC host says. On February the 3rd, blood droplets recovered from the Guthrie home reported a ransom note and Olympic exit. Local authorities scour the scene of Guthrie's home for answers. DNA is recovered at the scene, includes dried blood droplets spotted on Spanish tile entrance at the home on February the 3rd. NBC confirmed February 3rd that Savannah Guthrie would no longer host the 2026 Winter Olympics opening ceremony in Italy following a recent disappearance of her mother. Also on February 3rd, KOLD reporter Mary Coleman told CNN that TMZ and KOLD reported received a ransom note in the case that allegedly mentioned a deadline, a dollar amount, and specific details that only Guthrie's abductor may know. On February 1st, Nancy Guthrie was reported missing. At 1:47 a.m. on the morning of February 1st, authorities say that a doorbell camera in front of Guthrie's home disconnected. At 2:12 a.m., software for the smartphone detected a person on camera. I'm just going slow so it can sink in. But no video is available. Given Guthrie's description plan, at 2:28, Guthrie's pacemaker app shows it was disconnected from her phone. That morning, Guthrie failed to show up at a friend's house to watch a church service online. That's just weird, because that's the first I've heard of that. You guys may have heard of that, and I can't see chat right now, but I really would like to know. I have never heard that. I've heard that she usually watched church in her home, but that morning she was supposed to go to church. That's the first time I've ever seen or heard. Maybe you guys have heard differently, and I thought I'm all up on this case, y'all. That she was supposed to show up to a friend's house to watch a church service online, as she normally did. So they called her daughter, Annie, who lives nearby. A source close to the family told NBC News. At 11:56 a.m., the family arrived to check on her, calling 911 at 12:03 to report her missing. Patrol cars arrived at 12:15 p.m. and the search for Guthrie started. January 31st was the last night Guthrie was seen. At 5:32 p.m. on January the 31st, Nancy Guthrie traveled to her family's house for a game night, authorities said. At 9:48 p.m., her family dropped her. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, at 9:48 p.m., her family dropped her back off at home, and the garage door opened. The garage door closed at 9:50. So there you have it. That is it. And I am going to get all that written into my book and get rid of all of the other junk that I have. That is the latest. That's the latest timeline that we have on it. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it so much. Cooey Lulu. Hey, Aussie True Crime. Good to see you guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. You're not in the wrong chat. Damage, honey. I can see you. I was reading that, so I couldn't see chat while I was reading it. So forgive me, you guys, if I'm not caught up or it may look like I'm not paying attention to chat. I'm trying, but I'm a one-man team here doing my thing and trying to get all this out to you guys. I'm still blown away. I don't know where that country word just came from. Y'all don't know how hard I worked on my Southern accent for many, many years so that a word like that wouldn't pop out of my mouth. Every time I get around, you can always tell when I've been around my Georgia family, y'all, because I'll come back and it takes me about 3 days to get rid of it. Not that I'm ashamed of it. I just get tired of answering questions to these Hoosiers. Where are you from? So anyways, but sometimes a word will pop out. There's nothing I can do about it. Hi, Yellow Summer. Good to see you. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you all. Can you do me a favor? Will you please hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down? That is all I ask. Just one of them, and let the algorithm know that you have interacted with our channel. I appreciate that so much. I'm gonna let Dawn come up, see what says Dawn. Let Dawn come up, and then maybe we'll get some maybe Aussie True Crime. Aussie, have you been following this case at all? Any other true crimers in chat that want to come up and have a discussion about this? Let me drop this link It'd be nice to talk to some other people that have covered this or been just following it, and give me some input on it. There's the link. Follow the prompts. If you don't want to show your face, make sure your camera's off. If I don't know you though, I will put up an overlay because I've been porn bombed before, not on my channel because I'm on to that stuff. I could sniff it out. I kind of know when it's happening. So I left him in back chat, so I pissed him off, and then he poured bombing. Which then I went on and explained to my chat exactly what he was doing because, they couldn't see it. So, I mean, Karen is sharing. But anyways, I still have the same questions. I still have the same questions with all of this. All right, Don, I'm fixing to add you, love bug.
All right, thank you.
Art, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What's the news? Tell me, give me something. Give me something, Dawn.
I'm trying. It's so confusing.
It is so confusing.
Okay. It is. Everything's like just they say one thing, it's different the next. It makes no sense.
It makes no. It's like putting something up there and then walking. It's like dealing with people like the Keystone Cops that really don't know what the hell they're doing, and at this stage in their career, they probably should.
I think the sheriff is burnt out. I think he's burnt out.
Well, he just got reelected again. He's in there till, I think they told us what? Are you the one that told us like 89 or 89? Listen to me. No, I live in the past. It's like Yellow says, it's like we're crazy, but they're the ones that are right. It's like they're totally playing with their brains here. I'm trying to keep my mind together. I'm really trying to like be able to see the game and be like, okay, that's just a smoke screen. Move out of the way. What are you not telling me? And pay attention. You know what I mean? There is a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't wrap my head around it because there's so much going on. And like I said, you got one person saying one thing and then it's different the next. And then it's like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. It's, that's why I'm just like, I take everything I even say, even though I mean, y'all, I'm a history kind of loving girl. I love watching house cleaning and homemaking, even though I'm not, Little House on the Prairie, that stuff I like to watch, y'all. And I'm telling you, this case has got me wrapped. I like have times that I watch certain things and put things on. So because I'm a cleaner. I love to clean. I clean when I'm stressed. I clean when I'm sad. I clean when I'm happy. It's just a ridiculous cycle that I put myself through, but I really do love it. And this case is making my house go dirty.
I do.
Because I'm trying to research. We try to put out factual information and then also check ourselves. So if we put out something that's wrong, we have to come back and say, guys, look, I'm so sorry, and explain it on the next live. So we're really, really trying to only state the facts and then let people know this is speculation. This is what I think. It's probably not true, but it's what I think.
So in the Kayla and Luke issue, whoever they are, I know they're boyfriend and girlfriend. That's one thing I do know. And Kayla, I don't know where I found it or where I saw it. It was sometime today, sometime, I don't know. But apparently she had been arrested recently for some warrants or something like that she had on her. But she's affiliated with this Luke kid.
And that's the Lucas. That's the Lucas guy, right? That has
Daily or whatever his name. Whatever his name is. Yeah.
Yep.
So when I was kind of researching now, like I said, I don't trust very many, live streams or whatever it is or whatever. But I heard when I was reading, now I might be wrong, but Luke, I guess, was the owner of the Range Rover. And they said that he had purchased the Range Rover 8 months before Nancy went missing. which was kind of odd. And then when I was looking at his photo, he's like Mexican American or something like that, or whatever.
Did you come?
Apparently, he
Did you try
matches
to?
he
I'm
matches the
sorry.
eyes from the
That's what I
guy in
was.
the mask.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Did you actually were you able to look up the eyes?
Yeah, they did a comparison on one side I was looking at or whatever, and it's identical. Same build, same eye shape. He had like the little goatee type of thing, and you know had little to no hair on top there, and I mean like the sketch looks nothing like him at all. So they're probably way off with that. But yeah, he looked identical to the guy in the mask. Identical. Like really identical. It was crazy. I don't know where I found it. And I saw it and I was like, holy shit.
So
So
I'm look. Hold on just a minute because I'm trying to look her arrest warrant.
I think they said it was like yesterday. I don't know. I didn't look when it was posted though, so I don't know. It might have been I don't know. See, they said that she was arrested that night during the raid at the house. So, like I said, I'm getting like mixed signals as to whom, what, where, when, why.
Yeah, and then trying to keep the names and the numbers exactly
Yeah.
right. Do you remember what color they said was in the neighborhood that night? What color they said it was a didn't they say it was an SUV type car and that's how we got the Range
Yeah.
Rover? Does anyone in chat remember what color they said it
I
was?
think they said it was like a gray, black,
Okay.
or something like that.
So is this the Range Rover right here? Let me pull it up, you guys, because I think this is. Can you see that? Let me make it bigger. Is that a Range Rover? I can't tell by looking. Hi, OxyClean.
Kinda.
Let me see. Hold on just a second. Let me read this real quick. I think that's the Range Rover, but I don't know cars just by looking at them like that. Yellow said, nicely said. It's
like
what you
it.
think. I can back this up with facts. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Yellow Summer. My place right here. Okay. So conspiracy theories are wild, and by the thousand from people who don't know nothing about nothing. Sorry, that sounds like my brain. I don't know nothing about nothing, but need something to do than chew their own cud. Oh, that's a Southern person right there. Chew their own cud. You're from the South. Oh boy, he bought a Range Rover. I dig it. I dig it. I agree. There is, and that I don't automatically go to conspiracy. That's not who I am.
Yeah.
Is this looking like maybe that's a Range Rover? Tashi would know. Tashi works with vehicles. That's right. She I won't give it away. She could tell it herself, but she knows a lot about cars. Thanks, Tosh. So this is the one that was parked, wasn't it? At the Culvers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they took really quick pictures of it and then they put a tarp over the back. They opened the back up, right? And then they put a tarp over it really fast and then they got it on that hauler and they took it off really fast. Thank you so much, Tashi.
Also, I was reading somewhere, I don't know, I've just been like going from like video to video to video trying to figure this stuff out, but they said that supposedly on the Range Rover, they did find evidence. Supposedly there was gravel on the tires similar to the one Nancy Guthrie's driveway. Then they found a gray hair or something in there. And there was something else, like there was like a bloody towel or something, they said.
Who's they?
So,
you gotta write this stuff down for me.
Like I said, right?
Come on.
I said, I don't know who, but I'm like, scrolling through all the social media crap. And like, I'm
Yeah.
like, well, like just
Yeah. I mean, I don't
open.
mind talking about it. We just have to make sure that we're not saying any of this
Right.
is fact, y'all. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't have,
I don't know.
we're just saying this is what we've read just like you guys. And
Yeah.
it could be a
Yeah.
it could be
Oh,
part of it could be true. I don't know.
yeah.
For me, I just have to go off of what makes sense in my brain. Like just common sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes maybe that won't work, but that's all I have to go with. And so I just try to let everybody know this part I've come up with is factual, like who Kayla is to the family now. I found that through an obituary. And so
She's not really.
there is ways you can um verify things to see if what people are saying is true or not, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. That's why we're not, you guys, we're not a true crime channel. We're just not.
No.
We cover things that people want to talk about and people are interested, and all the regulars have to be into it or get into it really, really quick.
Yeah.
And we'll cover it. There's nothing we don't do here. Absolutely nothing except for drama. Lizzo, I'm going to spank you. You're supposed to be in bed. Y'all, Lizzo and Maggie, she's right there in chat. Lizzo and Maggie ran a beautiful, beautiful live today. If you guys missed it, go back and watch it. Yellow Summer said, let me read out Wild Angels first. She said, it's all over the place, that's for sure. Coming from different directions. People are kind of like got two versions of what they believe. Yeah, that's why. I mean, there is ways to check it. It just is a lot of work. And I know Maggie and I and Liz and even Dawn, who we've met just from covering this, Tosh, Wild Angel. I mean, there's so many of us. Lunch Lady, we are blessed to have a former FBI agent, 20 years retired, that is one of our mods here, and she is a value of information too. And Mary Jane Doe, there's Hope's Echo. There's so many of us that are over in our Discord, you guys. And anytime anybody finds something, we just drop it there in Discord, and then everybody takes a look at it, gives their thoughts on it if they've got time or whatever, and then we bring it to you guys if we know for sure you haven't seen it yet. Sometimes we might duplicate things, but all we can do is try, y'all. We're doing the best we can. Yellow Summer says, do you repost these? My brain is fried. Yes, ma'am. We have a playlist on every one of them that we have done. You guys are welcome to go and check it out. Check it out. And listen, you guys don't have to agree with our theory. Lizzo, Maggie, and I are kind of reading from the same book. This is the only way I know how to put it. We're kind of reading from the same book, but we all have a little bit different theories of it. Just a little bit. But we're closer together now than we were in the beginning. In the beginning, all three of us were coming from different directions in this thing. And now, because we have been able to prove some things and then take some things out that we know that we just picked up along some kind of social media somewhere, we're coming around. But are we 100% like believing the same thing? No. And we want the same from you. If you can't get on board with how I think of it, I'm not offended at all. I love hearing people's theories. That's how we're learning. That's how we're learning, because I may not have thought of everything that you thought of. And if you give me something to chew on, I appreciate it.
Do you think Savannah has like more information than what we got, pretty much? Like her being the first one to know what's going on.
Oh, yeah. They have to run everything by her anyways. I mean, and a lot of it could be a lie. And they tell her, look, I know you're going to be like, you guys are lying. Yes, we're lying. And it's for a reason. Listen, cops only have to tell the truth when they signed on the dotted line or they're in front of a judge. Yeah. All during the investigation, they can use all kind of tactics and things like that. And I guess if this was my mama, I'd be like, do what you got to do, get my mom home. How about that? How about we do that? Lizzo woke up because her kitten, now she's awake. Oh, Maya, behave. You can get a spanking. Yellow Summer says, reading from a book, that ain't the playbook, right? Damage says, so is tomato cleared or not? Listen, first they were telling us that nobody's cleared, and then they came out and said the family's cleared. Then they said, well, they're kind of cleared. Nobody's kind of cleared. We don't really know. Listen, we're dealing with the I don't know sheriff department. So as far as I'm concerned, nobody's been cleared. Nobody. How could you? How can you clear anybody unless they got an ironclad? But they have the sheriff finally come out and said, yes, all of the family and their spouses. But people are hearing that report two different ways, kind of like he's holding something back. Fucking hell, nobody knows. Ladybug just got in. What's new? Appreciate your time and efforts. Help us get the pieces of the puzzle. We all need to use our own discernment. Yes. Thank you for saying that. That's with any news source. That's right. Because just because I put it out, don't make it fact. I try to be factual. But I also have a brain too. So if I think, those police ain't telling us everything, I'm telling you, Mark, write all the shit down, you guys, because I like to be right sometimes. I think there's more video. Well, I know there's more video because I could see it spliced on the front. Yeah. I can point out 3 different places on the video that they released where things are cut out of it. So I know that, but I'm talking about there's other cameras they haven't told us about. I wholeheartedly believe that 100%. And I've been saying since day one she's in Mexico. So I'm really glad to hear that it came out today that the FBI is in talks now with the Mexican government. Why that wasn't done in the beginning, being that close to the border with everything that's going on in our country right now, that should have been priority. In my opinion, I could be wrong. But I'm glad to hear that they are now doing it because we got to get a chopper up in the air. You guys, I watch FlightAware all the time. I'm watching FlightAware. I'm watching. My house is dirty because of it, and my poor husband has to eat out with his colleagues because I'm like, dude, I got no time. I got no time for that. So, anyways, we got to get a chopper in the air. There was only one time that I watch FlightAware a lot, and there was only one time that I actually seen a chopper flying in a circle. And now I believe that was when they were doing the search for the pacemaker, right? John says,
we're going to Mexico, y'all.
You're sure we're all wrong? Could be right on, John.
Yeah.
Could be. What's your theory? I'd like to hear it. I'd like to hear what you have to say about it. Absolutely would love it. Lizzo says, tomato is chuffed. Y'all, that's English talk for screwed. Okay. He's the prime suspect, Lizzo says, and Lizzo's in the know, y'all. OxyClean says, today, y'all, the sheriff's department had people do lie detector tests. As a former PI, former PI, I would love to hear all about this, would take the test, especially with the Pima County Sheriff. Wow. Well, we played that when I first came on. First, Brian Inton came on and said that they were doing lie detector tests. He didn't say when, even though we know a lot of the media was out at the sheriff's department today thinking that maybe some of the family was taking lie detector tests. And then he came back on later tonight and said that he talked to the sheriff's department about who was doing lie detector tests. And they said that the lie detector test didn't have anything to do with the Nancy Guthrie case. They're doing their new hires. Now, I just got to say, do I believe him? No, because I don't believe anything he says. And he's allowed to lie to me. And then I'm when he retires, I'm gonna punch him in the face because I don't need to go down with police brutality. Y'all, you don't have to be sorry, Oxy. That's no big deal at all, honey. Not a big deal at all. Ladybug says, I heard a report they found that someone had Googled Nancy's address prior Really? I heard somebody saying something like that, but I had walked out of the room just that somebody had Googled the address, and I was like, oh, fuck, I Googled the address. I've Googled everybody's addresses. Believe you me, I'm looking at all those houses on that street, y'all, and I'm not done. So I didn't know what they were talking about, but prior to her being missing, that's a little
Yeah,
cray. Why would you
I
need to know
remember them
that?
saying that. Yeah, I remember them saying that.
Summer, are you from the Aussie side of the world? Because I got one of those too. Crikey.
Crikey.
Oh, listen, over here in this channel, y'all, we're international.
Right.
We're
going to Mexico, y'all.
We're going to Mexico next week. Listen, I'm gonna pull that FlightAware up. We're gonna watch them police officers and those choppers, which are badass going through the desert. Hi, June Sunshine says, I actually told them to Bluetooth the area for her pacemaker because I had a device that would let doctors know at the hospital what was going on, and it didn't make any sense why no one was doing it. I agree. And not only that, y'all, they had no choppers in the air circling anywhere. They've done a land search. That's it. I'm blown away. I would first thing up, chopper, first thing up. You can see, you may not be able to see, not to be morbid, but you may not be able to see a body from the air, but you damn sure can see if the ground has been disturbed. Even at night, it'll show up black. Y'all, I watch this shit all the time. I know. That's what they got to do now. Watch that flight shit. I love it. I love it. Raymond says, Leanie, what is the closest private airport to Nancy's house? I could pull it up. There's not only is there a private airport right there to the left headed towards California, there's also like to the northwest. That's where Phoenix is. And then if you go northeast, you're going to Fort Huachuca, Arizona. That's military base. My dad used to go to school there all the time when I was a kid, when he was in the military. But I'll show you guys what FlightAware looks like. So I learned of this through, I wanted a way to watch my family like when they're flying. And so then I just typed in to see if I could track a flight, and I found this place and I was like, oh, gee, I'm on it. And then we watched on Grizzly True Crime. Shout out to Grizzly, y'all. She was the first person I ever watched on YouTube, and I loved her so much. And I watched with her, learned how to use the tool because of her. Watched Brian Koberger travel all the way across the state. It was awesome. So now I'm like all into this. Not enough to be a pilot, y'all, because I'm scared of flying too. But it's interesting to me. All right, so let me just get the. Hold up. All right. Let me go back over here. I heard somebody pop in. Nobody popped in. Oh, that's me. Whoever popped up on panel, I didn't see you do that. You'll have to come back. So I'll stop that. Let's bring up this. All right, let's bring up the Tucson airport. All right. When you bring up FlightAware, it's going to kind of look like this. You could punch in a flight where it only shows you. Let me make sure it's big over here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Take this off the screen real quick. Give me a second. All right. So when you pull up FlightAware, it's going to look like this. There's not much going on over Tucson right now, right? But if you click on, so I could tell by looking at this one, this is an international flight. This is a smaller, this may be military. Let's see. So this one took off from Phoenix, airport at 10:42 last night, and it's arriving in El Paso, Texas. So that is a smaller plane. If you scoot down, it'll get you all kind of stuff. If you look down here, it tells you how fast they're going and what their altitude is. Y'all, it's so good. So good. Tells you what time it's due to land and stuff like this. So anyways, well, you just click back on, let's see. Come on. You just go backwards. All right. So not much happening there, right? But you could tell by looking at the planes, exactly, like this is one of those big ass planes. This is a little bit of smaller plane, but look right here. Let me show you. So right here is Tucson. This is the Tucson airport right here. All right. See, this plane took off from Tucson going that way. These other planes are going flyby, but check out these. These are choppers. These are the choppers that I'm talking about. This is what I'm looking for whenever this is what you're going to see if they're police choppers. Okay. This chopper, see what it's doing? So this is over it came out of DVT. I don't know what DVT is. Denver? Is that Denver? So to me, it looks like they're looking for somebody. See how it's twirling and twirling? Can you guys see that? No, you can't. Okay, hold on. I gotta bring that up. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. You guys do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, thumbs down. I appreciate it so, so much. Let me show you guys this. This is what I'm looking for when I tell you I'm going to fly to where to see. I'm looking at a chopper, right? Okay, this chopper came out of DVT. I think that's Denver. And see how it's doing all these kind of things like this and like this. To me, this is the owner of it is City of Phoenix. You see how they're jumping up and down? So the yellow is how fast they're going. See, they're going slow, then fast, and up and down and up and down. And then they're keeping an altitude. Your green line is your altitude. And listen, y'all, I sound like a fucking pilot. I should be getting paid more. The hell? Anyways, they're keeping an altitude of about 2,000 feet. We know that's pretty low. So to me, this flight looks like they're actually looking for somebody. They're in the Glendale area around the Phoenix area right now. They made a little loop-de-loop and now they're going back. The other thing that this thing could be, this is the aircraft. It tells you what type it is, how fast it's going, 133 miles an hour. It's at 1,800 square feet. 1,800 feet right now, you guys. And then you come down here and it tells you, it departed out of Phoenix Deer Valley at 10:01. Okay. And then it's got past flights on here. This is a really, really cool tool to use. But like, let's just say we were watching the Cavalcante. I use this a lot when we were watching the Cavalcante thing. And y'all, they had cops up in the air the whole time, right? And you just knew that they were looking in a certain area because it would just go round and round and round and round. And I was getting all kind of dizzy and shit. At least this guy's coming out and going in and coming out and going in and all that stuff. But you can actually see where he is backtracking. So either they're looking for something up here, y'all, which that's what that tells me, or it could be a school flight. My bonus child who lives with me now, he used to do night flights for his piloting school as well. So there you go. That's what I'm looking at. Okay. I see what happened. She dropped down. Oh, I'm hot. Gosh, I'm hot. Bye, Summer. She's in France. Wow. Love that. Ashley Vanfield did a video about it, Mary Jane Doe. Thought they were in Arizona. What are you talking about? I'm sorry. Let me go up. I've looked on Google Earth over the surrounding area. That's a really good thing to use too. Because you could get right in there. You could get right in there. Also, if you use Google, is it Google Earth, the driving Google Drive or something like that, they'll put you in a little Google car, y'all, and you could just drive down the street, putt. You don't get to pick your car, you guys, and it's usually a yellow car, but that's always fun too. Just drive on down that street. But you have to remember with that the houses and the neighborhood that you're looking at could be no less, I mean, no more than, I mean, no less or no more. It's probably no less than 6 months old because it takes that long. I mean, you figure we get these images and we get the Google little car from our satellites, you guys. So, but it's cool to do the Google car as well. I'm a pilot. They could have flown here to Mexico. Oh, I love pilots. Think y'all are so cute in your little hats. Pilot has never talked to me before, so I feel honored. I think the issue was the person in Mexico and had Google Nancy's address he said, so the guy who Googled it is in Mexico? How'd they find that out? Wow, that's some really great investigating. That's some really great investigating. The satellites can see the Earth, but not what happened to Nancy. Y'all, that's right. That's right. It's going to be old. So like if I gave you my address right now, which I Google it all the time. I don't know why I do stuff like that, but I do. And it's my cars in the driveway. So I know for sure it's that picture, those pictures that are there are been 3.5 years at least, because that's when I moved into this house. Ashley Banfield did a video. I still don't understand, Mary Jane Doe. I went up. I thought they were in Arizona. They're in Arizona. What are we talking about? The only reason I asked, they gave an 8-hour window to return Nancy that would give time to get another plane, etc. Yeah, isn't that a thing? I mean, I guess I really haven't, I mean, I haven't even researched anything about ransom and how that works. Just from watching other, crime stories with ransom in it. I've never known it to take 3 to 4 days to get a ransom note. Usually they'll either leave them behind or you'll have a way to contact them, or they're going to tell you exactly what time to be ready for their phone call. But I've also never known them to give an exact hour like that of when they would have her back. Isn't that weird? I mean, I don't know if you guys find that weird, but I find that weird. Hello, William. Peeps are people at Easter. These are peeps. Gotcha. No, it was from Arizona, not Mexico. Oh, the person who looked up the address, you mean, and her salary. Sorry, Leanie, phone died. I'm headed to sleep. Long work day. I love you, girl. Thanks for coming up. It was nice talking to you. Get you some rest, honey. Hopefully something wonderful is going to happen this weekend or sooner. John says, why I said it is because if there was more than one, they may have come from the back gate. Yeah, I mean, she lives on almost an acre of land. Now, the acre, it would be, the full land. So her land she could have more land side to side than front to back, right? Like mine, front to back, I live on an acre. Mine goes front to back, right? So I have more land going from the street to the back of my property than I do side to side. So, I mean, they could have come from, who knows, right? That's so good. Ladybug says, if she's no longer alive, they would have disposed of her body immediately because of the odor. That would not be transported, just stating the obvious. I agree, Ladybug. And you know what? I'm going to say until the sheriff pulls me off the fence, because I'm sitting there. I believe I believe she was killed in her home before they ever took her out. That's just me. OxyClean says, I think you're saying TMZ gets a ransom letter almost daily. Well, they did come out, you guys, and they did say that Harvey Levin, who owns TMZ, came out and said that if they get any more ransom letters, they will not report on it. Why do you think that is? You think they're getting a bunch of bad publicity? Bad publicity. Y'all, I would trip over my own tongue. CR says, hi, welcome. He says, someone did not want Savannah in the Olympics. Listen, I've heard that too. Hi, Melly. Hi. Who knows? And we've also heard that, tomato, Tabasco, tomato, that he went to Italy with his family. I don't know if y'all heard that. I haven't seen any factual information on it, but I've seen it all over the place that he went to Italy. And the reason why he went is because it was already a paid trip with his family. Now, I don't know about y'all, but if it's my mama or my husband's mama or anybody close to me, I don't care how much money I'm losing. I'm not going. It don't make any sense. Now, we have to take it with a grain of salt. It may or may not be true. The Google search was from Arizona, MJD says. Okay, I didn't know anything about that. Because I was cleaning when I was listening. I think it was Liz and Maggie who I heard talking about it. No, it was somebody else I heard talking about it because I was like, I Google searched him. Is that against the law? You know what I mean? I knew they weren't talking about me. I'm just this little person over here that nobody cares about. But I don't think that's if it was against the law, then. But to do it a couple days before, y'all, they need to follow up. Obviously, how would you know? How would you know someone did a Google search on that unless you have got the device? And is anybody here great with electronics? How would they know? Can you pull that just out of the cloud, like pulling an address? Who all has looked up this address when they looked at this? Could they do that? I don't know. I would have thought they would have had to have the device, but I guess nowadays you don't even have to have a device. I mean, it's all up there, right? Weeks ago, they said when they got the money, it would take 6 to 8 hours to return Nancy. That's why I think she's in Mexico. I have always thought that and I hope I'm wrong. I do. I really do hope I'm wrong. But I've always thought that the ransom was just a cover, and everybody else is copycatting it. The original ransom was just a cover to get her over the border. I think she passed away in the house. I think not passed away in the house. I think she was killed in her house, and then I think they took her over the border. And I hate to say it, but I don't think she's going to be found. I think they've waited too long to get in touch with the Mexican authorities over there. And I mean, I think whoever did it at this point has something to do with money and them getting some type of money out of this. That's why I've always pointed my finger at tomato, Tabasco hot sauce, dude. I mean, because I don't think you're seeing any pictures of him on that porch at all, but I think that it's very possible that he hired someone to do it or promised them part of the money. What says anybody else? How do you feel about that? I mean, it's a terrible thing to say, but that's just how I feel. And I hope I'm wrong. The FBI had Google Trends give them the details of it. Google Trends? What the hell is... I got to write that down. What is going on? Y'all, listen. I had to have my baby child. So, not that anybody cares, but I'm just going to tell you for a second. My oldest granddaughter had her first college visit today. And my baby child, who is graduating from college, in 2 months, took her for her first college visit in another state. And I wanted to give them money to be able to eat because it was going to be an all day trip, a couple hours to get there, a couple hours to get back. And I have money that anyways, I have money on my Cash App, but I've never used Cash App. So I didn't know how to do Cash App. And my oldest son said to keep the money there. That way I could just pay people through that, because I always try to like keep a 20 on me or something like that. He's like, Mom, everybody's got Cash App. So if you want to send somebody money, just send it to Cash App. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I didn't know how to do it. And my baby child had to send it and teach me how to do it tonight. So I'm happy. Google Trends. I'm going to look that up. Not now, but because y'all probably already know. I'm going to figure out what the hell that does. Raymond says, we are looking for her here and she's gone. Raymond, so are you in Mexico right now? And if so, if you are in Mexico right now, or wherever you're at, whether you say we're looking for her here, that to me says Mexico, or it says Arizona maybe. Do you believe she was taken over the border? What says you? I mean, I would think you would know if you lived there. Hi, Pam. I thought he was involved from the very beginning. Thank you, Pam. Thank you for coming in and giving. Listen, it's the only thing that makes sense to me. If there was me, and that was my husband, if my mama was missing, y'all, and my husband was, his name was going around and whatever, do you think that I'd be sitting in a house covering my face up and not letting people see me? Oh, negative, negative, negative. And I'd have my husband's ass out there on the street corner talking to JLR and to According to Leaning, because why hide if you got nothing to hide? I'd be like, do what you people have to do. Here I am. Here's exactly what I was doing. You guys go figure it out. Let's all go together. Let me take you to everywhere I've been. We'll get the security cameras. You guys all do your online investigating. And then can we get to the real people who took my mother-in-law? It's just weird to me when people go like stealth. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I mean, face it head on. That's what I say. OxyClean, my investigator daughter said she has some new info. I gotta go. I will try to get back later. Thank you so much, OxyClean. Let me know. Keep me in the know. I want to know. No, I'm a pilot out of Kansas City. Okay, so you guys are looking up there. Well, let me ask you this. If you're a pilot out of Kansas City, what would happen if, say you owned a plane, right? Just say you owned a small aircraft or a chopper or something like that. Could the family hire you to just go out and do a grid search? I mean, they got the money. If you had money, wouldn't you hire someone to take you up just so you could see the area yourself? I don't understand what is happening. I mean, I have put myself in this situation many times and tried to imagine having $8 million. And I say 8 million because we know that's what Savannah Guthrie earned a year. So I'm trying to put myself there with $8 million. What would I do to find my mom? Okay, first thing I'm doing is I'm getting in the air somehow. We're going in the air. Secondly, I'm going to every neighbor I know. And I'm like, y'all, mom's missing. Let's go. Right? So I'm in the air while other family members are taking these searches on, right? They don't have to go to the crime scene. Let the police handle that. But we're walking this desert, y'all. We're walking this desert. And the minute I get word that you need 6 million in Bitcoin, where do I sign? Where do I sign? Listen, I've lived 56 years so far. I'm 56 years old. I think I could live off $1 million for the rest of my life, even if I had 20 years to live, because I've worked my whole life. I know how to budget. I wouldn't go out and buy a new house and a new car and all this. all the shit I don't even know about. Now, I'd get me some more golden retrievers and retire on a farm. That's all I want out of life. So I guess I'm having trouble. And look, I'm not victim shaming. I'm not trying to. I'm really not. But I don't understand the process of the family. I'd be on every news station. You guys know the Idaho 4. Everybody knows about it, right? The Gonsalves family, the parents came out and said that, like, Brian Walsh, who was Adam Walsh's dad, and somebody else, who was it? John Bonet's dad. People calling him all the time, right? And they said, whatever you do, the police are going to tell you stay out of the media. Don't stay out of the media. Keep talking, keep talking, keep talking, because that's what they told them. And look where we're at with the John Bonet Ramsey case. Imagine if we had the internet back then. And unfortunately, I mean, it took DNA to solve Adam Walsh's murder. But listen, I would be in front of every camera that would have me. I would spend every resource, and I beg you to help me. I beg you, if I ran out of money, I'd be like, please, either loan me some money or put me to work, or I'm going to have to steal it from you, because I got to find my mom. I know it cost a lot of money, Francis. Thank you so much for being here to get into the air. But how long has Savannah Guthrie worked for the Today Show? She made $8 million a year. How the hell do you go through that much money in a lifetime? I don't know. But then not only does she have money, her husband has money too, y'all. Liz and Maggie were talking about that on their stream, about how much money, what he does for a living, and brings in his own money as well. Listen, that ain't nothing to them. 6 million in Bitcoin, that's nothing to them. They probably own an aircraft. Hell, call what's his name? Call any one of the Hollywood stars that use you for publicity and say, hey, I need some aircraft here and I need them here now. Get your planes over here. Listen, they got connections. Probably wouldn't cost them a dime. I mean, Prince Harry and his bimbo wife got back from London, and then they got sent over here during, just call them people. It's all about who you know, and I'm pretty sure Savannah knows just about everybody. Not to mention, she works for NBC. I mean, y'all, she's got the money. We got the money, no problem. Money is not an issue in this case. But I don't know what the issue is and why the family isn't more public and more involved in these searches. I don't know if they're just got professionals telling don't do this, don't do that, and they're just sticking to it. I'd be like, you do your job, and I'm going to go do mine, which is find my mom. I've always known where my mom's at. I'm going to go find her. I won't get in your way. I won't come to the crime scene. Y'all do that. I already checked the house. She's not there. So now I'm going to go over here into these woods, or not the woods, desert. I'm going to go out here into the desert with my buddies. Anybody got a four-wheeler? That'll make it a little easier on me. You know what I mean? I don't understand this. I'm sorry, I passed one up. 01 Racing Girl, love your name. Sloan Bella has said Nancy Guthrie was not alive 48 hours after all this was reported, and the family knows it's all fuckery because of Savannah Guthrie. You may be completely right. I don't think it took 48 hours to kill her. I think we took her out of the house and she was already dead. They need to look into the Adult Protective Services car because it's not adding up. Yes, why? And I mean, did everybody on the block get that little card, or somebody walked up to their door? handing out a card in case they need help, or was it only on Nancy's house? Was the card only at Nancy's house? And I don't know, when you guys drop somebody off, I always wait until they go inside. I don't just drive away, and I don't care who it is. That's just the way my parents taught me to, especially at nighttime. And I can tell you this, as many times as I dropped my mom off day or night, I would never let my mother walk in the house alone. Now, like I said, I'm not better than thou, you know what I mean? But I've never been in that big of a hurry that I let my mom walk in a house alone, much less at nighttime. I don't understand that way of thinking either. Did mom make it home to that house after she was at her kid's house that night? Did she even make it home? I believe the police know. I believe there's footage. She wouldn't even need to spend a penny with all her husband's contacts that would have people offering to do it free. Right. Get that little blue book out. Come on, y'all, get your BlackBerry out. Do they even use Blackberries anymore? Remember when that was all the rage of BlackBerry? I never owned one. Get your BlackBerry out. Oh my God, I can't imagine. I just can't imagine. I wonder if it's the creepy neighbor. I don't know. He is a little weird though, right? A little weird. Raymond says, I do have a plane, downtown airport. Airport security is a joke. I can drive up to my plane, no question asked. And no, I'm not going to look for a body. Not my thing. Well, I mean, if I knew how to fly a plane and I wasn't scared to fly a plane, that's my jam. I'd be looking for bodies all day long. I love it. I'd be like, I'm your girl. Let me go in. Let me go in. Give me the camera. She's worth $40 million. Thank you, Mary Jane. The police need to speak to the neighbor and find out why they called APS and not police. What's Liza? What? And sheriff said neighbor called them the day she went missing, and APS. You mean adult services? Went the same. What is APS? Cooey Lulu. Good morning, and night. It's bloody hot there. Oh, I can't wait for spring to come now, y'all. That's why it's all smoke and mirrors. Why are you so surprised? They all know it's murder. I guess because I'm trying to look at the humanity side of it. Obviously, murder has nothing to do with humanity because they feel that they don't even feel that. They don't. You're not even a human yourself if you could do that kind of a crime. But for me, my first instinct is looking at the human side of it, which would mean get out there and find my mom if I was innocent. To me, by them hiding means they've got something to hide. I'd be out there. Everybody would know me. Aaron Brockovich, that was a great movie. Am I in the right chat? I think so. I see all your chats. Right. Always walked mom in and stayed a bit. Right. You have to. You never know. You never know. Hey, Sandra. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Lulu says, I remember Shannon Watt's friend dropping her for the last time. She stopped and waited till she got inside. So sad the danger was inside and not out. Right. Sandra says, who took her home that night? Well, first they told us it was the son-in-law, tomato, Tabasco, hot sauce dude, her son-in-law. And then they walked that back and said a family member. Adult Protective Services. So they called Adult Protective Services first because in the beginning, I read the newest timeline that came out 2 days ago. And they said that the family called the police. I think the timeline shows within like 4 minutes of being in the house that the police were called. Hi, Violet. Good to see you again, honey. Thank you for covering this. I can't stop thinking about this, and your lives are the only lives that actually make sense to me. Gosh, that's so nice for you to say. Thank you. I don't know if you work or if you've been able to catch my co-host. I got a co-host. So if you guys ever come on here, do you hear these really funny sounding women? They're both from England. Maggie is my co-host. She is from Liverpool, England. I've been told that she sounds, and she's been told she sounds a lot like she's Irish. And then she has a co-host, which is the co-host now, and that is Lizzo. She is from Yorkshire, or Yorkshire, as I would say, England as well. And they run a live, well, they've been doing it for over a week now together. So there is a playlist, you guys. If you've missed any, I can tell you how to tell mine from theirs apart. The ones that I do, mine are just generic thumbnails with writing on them because I don't know what the hell to do. I don't know how to make them. The pretty thumbnails, those are the ones that Maggie and Lizzo have. Those are their lives that they've been doing. They go on, I think, 7 to 11. Am I right, Liz? 7 to 11 England time, which would be Eastern time. It would be 2 o'clock in the States. John says, have a fantastic Niner day. Off to work. Be back later. We love you, John. Thank you for coming in. See you in a couple of hours on Lizzo and Maggie's. I'll be in the bush. Hi, Diamond. They could have got the wrong house. Guy next door to her was renting for the gem show. Yeah, I remember there was something in town. Yes, you're right. JLR and other filmed him loading boxes and boxes of most likely gems worth a fortune. The gem show was international. Yes, you're right. I remember in the beginning we talked about that. Leanie, me too. I am so ready to be outside again in my little gazebo with curtains and water fountains and flowers and vegetables. Yeah, I'm just ready to have my back porch clean and my hot tub turned on. Lizzo said the sheriff tried to make out that the card was left there the day she went missing. But a neighbor said the card was there 2 days before. Nuh-uh. You know, that's bullshit, Lizzo, because we know the minute the sheriff took down the tape, they watched them drive away, and Brian Enton walked straight up to that door. And that card was there. That's how we got the pictures. So when did they come? During the crime? Before the family ever came to check on her? I tend to believe the neighbors more than I would the sheriff at this point. Sheriff, I don't know. No, I think they need to look more at her daughter and son-in-law. He is a teacher. She makes jewelry. No way they afford that house on the income. This is about the money. That's right. Because, I found the house with Lizzo's help. She got me some addresses. They're renting the house. They are renting the house. I don't think they're staying there right now. I don't know. Savannah's probably got them hooked up in this really nice place. But anyways, they're renting that house, and on the thing it tells you who owns it and stuff like that, and then about how much you could rent it out for. So I don't remember how much it was, but it's a pretty penny. You might as well own a house. Not that it's unusual, but supposedly the son-in-law dropped off, not the daughter. Don't know. Well, so here's what I think happened. I absolutely think the son-in-law dropped her off, but I think the daughter is the one that called the police, but she wasn't alone. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they say family went over and they got a call from the family. That tells me more than one person were at the home. I would think. Could be wrong. You enjoy oh man, well, I have one and Maggie has one. Lizzo's the co-host. They're good people, and I'm so grateful for them just taking on a second shift, because I mean, I think it's important at this point to keep going with it. I took the day off yesterday. I had to rest my voice, and I needed a mental break from life. And so I thought last night, I was like, damn, those women probably need a mental break. So we'll see what's going on this weekend, and maybe I can talk them into taking a day off. European Parliament just said trans women are women. Thanks, Zed. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. We're not talking about that right now, though. Lizzo said, yeah, between 7 and 8. People can, your time. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so they go anywhere between 7 and 8 to 11 and 12 midnight. They tried to get off at 11 last night, but the chat just kept coming and they kept talking. And then they sang. You guys, if you missed yesterday, it was so damn funny. I was giggling my butt off at them girls singing. Aren't they good value, Sheila's? Aren't they good value, Sheila's? Diamond says they found out the guy next door to her was definitely involved in the gym show. He would be a more likely target. Then why wasn't he? I think it's targeted. I absolutely 100% think it was targeted. I'm glad the sheriff finally caught on. They're fun. I love their accents. Good. They're good people. You're much better people than I'll ever be. That popped in my head with the mention of England. Sorry, no problem. No problem at all. Glad you're here. USA Today and Inside Edition made awful hit pieces. Really? Not on. Y'all don't be mean to JLR. We love him around here. He's one of my favorite people to make fun of, but I love me some JLR. Double tap your screen, guys. Just double tap it. Pop up. Just do that. Pop up. And if you don't want to do that, hit the thumbs up, thumbs down. Just do something that shows the algorithm that you were participating with the channel. And man, I'm so grateful. I really am grateful. They were right. It makes no sense why the neighbor phoned adult services to tell them she was missing. How would the neighbor know? Oh, that's so good. How would he know? Oh, I think she's saying that. I think Diamond, I get what Diamond is saying now that you said that. I think Diamond is saying that they got the wrong house, meaning they weren't supposed to go to Nancy Guthrie's. They were supposed to go to the neighbors who was working the gym show and that had all of them, all that money worth of all those money in gyms at his house. So Diamond Lucidity is saying they got the wrong house. I don't know though. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think. That's the first I've ever heard of that. I mean, I've heard people saying that they believe that it's a robbery gone wrong, but the police came out and said, no, it wasn't. It was an abduction. Right. And what was the motive for calling them anyways? What are we not being told? Right. Also, I want to know, was it the norm to like have a family night with grandmama Nancy? Is that normal? Or I know she had a birthday, so what's that, a birthday celebration? Like, I want to know what that game night dinner thing was all about. Is that the norm? Was it a birthday celebration? Because if not, that to me even throws tomato and his wife into the fire a little bit more for me. And adult services wouldn't go out that quick. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. USA wrote all about JLR. That's sad. That's really Damage. Don't go without me. Oh, y'all, look at Damage. Damn it. I need a Siggy break too. Who is JLR? That's Jonathan Lee Riches. He's the guy. I'm going to pull him up, guys, while I run to grab me a Siggy with Damage and get me some more coffee. So let's take a look at, see if JLR's doing anything. He did sign off a little bit earlier tonight because I went in to check on him earlier and it was an old one. So let's see if he's see if he's hanging out. Let's see if they got anything. If somebody wants to put JLR investigates in the chat, you guys, he is our source. He's the man. No, he is not on right now. Thank God he's getting some rest, you guys. But you know what we'll do? We will go ahead and just play a little bit of him because he did a 12-hour live today. Bless his heart. I'm glad he's resting. Let's go and watch just a little bit of him while I go to a break. Unless you guys want to hear some jam on it music, but JLR is much more entertaining, I think. Let me take this down. Put this big. Let's take a look, see what's going on here.
Home. Let's talk, folks. Where is Nancy? What's going on with this investigation? What's going to happen today? We're back bright and early. It's a little bit after 7 a.m. in the morning. And we're here.
Thank you, Mary Jane Doe. That is JLR's YouTube channel, y'all. Sub up to him. He's a good man.
Live stream throughout the day with the situation. So I'm going to put the phone here for you, and I'm going to set shop up. Make sure you share this video out on all platforms. Bring public awareness to Nancy. I see a lot of people piling in, almost 2,000 people in the chat already within the first minute. What is today going to bring? Today is Wednesday. They're saying day 18 since this crazy, terrible incident happened at this home here. Camino Escalante. The home of Nancy Guthrie, 84 years old, snatched from her home during the early morning hours, 2 a.m.-ish, February 1st. Hasn't been seen since. Catalina Foothills, just north of Tucson, Arizona. She has not been found. Authorities going to gun shop owners, asking them if they seen any weird, strange purchases by individuals within the last year. Could that be a help in this case? Walmart. They're going to Walmarts all around the country, or around the state at the very least, but probably around the country too at one point, looking for any purchases of backpack, at least the Ozark backpack, possibly the mask, which it appears the mask does sell at Walmart online, and other attire that this perpetrator could be wearing. Also, investigated genetic genealogy, IgG. No match on the glove, no match on the DNA found inside of the residence here at the Guthrie's home. We're going to stay on this case each and every day. I will be here into next week at least. So I extended this day. All boots on the ground coverage. This would be the channel. We will stay here. We'll see if the media goes away. We'll see if investigation picks up. See if they do any more raids, search warrants, or any other activity. Now, this is Nancy Guthrie's home. You see, Couple things that were talked about this home in the last 24 hours. The white card that was in the door, it is no longer there. And Sheriff Nanos, the Pima County Sheriff, has spoken about that white card, and it appears after Nancy was reported missing, a neighbor called Adult Protective Services, who came out to put the card inside the door after the kidnapping. Also, there was a blue shirt, blouse, something on the side of the house there that was seen in pictures at the beginning. It appears Border Patrol left it out there in the search for Nancy. Look at this. These two cars are now facing the house. They got a face out. Maybe we should do this at night. It's pretty. Maybe we should do that at night. Yesterday, some sort of locksmith was at the house here. I don't know. Fiddling through the safe, fiddling through the locks, the vaults. We heard it. We heard the guy go in, but when he was coming out, he said, I got it. I got it. Don't know what that is. There was another vehicle here, a white SUV. We don't know who that mystery person was or what that person was doing at the home. The locksmith came in, left pretty quickly, but the other vehicle stayed an extended period of time and eventually left. Growing memorial out here. Oh, a new sign. We did not see the sign before. It's never too late to do the right thing. God is watching.
Do y'all know this? Y'all, I'm fixing to get ugly. I thought I unmuted not once, but twice. I didn't realize I had taken myself off completely. So I talked for about 5 minutes, or felt like 5 minutes. It probably wasn't. And then I realized, oh, I'm muted. So I apologize for that. I'm trying to bring up everything and tell you guys. And then I realized just now when I saw Lizzo say, we're muted, or I'm muted, that I wasn't even on the damn stage. So now I have to repeat this again. Alice said, I have said from the beginning, she was taken across the border. She has passed. Her body was disposed of over there. She will never be found. What I was saying about that for the third time, let me say again, that I believe the same thing. And a lot of people say I'm very mean for saying that, and that's rude and blah, blah, blah. I don't have hope. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. There's where my hope is, that I'm wrong. And I don't mind being wrong. Just think this was a targeted attack. I think that if they went in to do some kind of abduction for ransom, there was no need to have a backpack. The gun is enough. She's an 83-year-old woman. The gun was enough. And why would she have blood? If they were just going to abduct her. I mean, I'm sure she didn't put up too much of a fight. How much of a fight did she put up? I mean, that guy on the porch, he looked pretty strapping, like he could handle it. What says you guys? Anybody? Let me tell you guys something. Let me talk to some people. I care about everybody. And I always give people a chance. You guys know that. But sometimes I wonder if people come in here to get reaction. I've already watched a couple troll names come through. I realized they were troll names because of what their name was, and it was directed towards me. And I didn't act like I'm just keep going with it. I don't do drama here. That's the only thing I don't do here. We can talk about anything as long as we can have an adult conversation. We can talk about anything. Nothing's off limits here. I don't think there's anything we've never talked about. But the one thing I won't talk about is drama. And the other thing I will not put up with here is disrespect for the mods. Y'all, I use them up. People will tell you I'm so mean to my mods, Maggie, to whatever. Hang around. You'll figure out exactly who I am and what I do and how I do it. I don't think I'm mean to them, but you can take it for yourself. I appreciate the mods. I appreciate Maggie and her co-host. And I appreciate every one of you for hanging out and being here. But if you're going to come in here just to cause problems, or you're going to come in here just to bring up the past, and people seeing your name is just going to cause that past that hurt to come back, then just don't come. I'm not that important. I'm just not. There's other channels that will sit there and talk shit about you all, talk shit about me, talk shit about the mods, talk shit about all of you all day long. They would love nothing more than to talk shit. So go do it over there. Stage right. We're not doing it here. The mods give their time freely. And believe me, we are running many, many, many hours on on YouTube right now trying to cover this and trying to hang out and be a part and just put on a good show and just be good people and be here for people. Don't come in here messing with them. They do this for free. They give me their time. They don't have to be here. They could do something else. Don't do it. If you've got past with people and you know that they're modding for me, don't come in here. You're just causing grief. Don't do it. We're not doing drama here. We're not bringing up all that shit. You don't have to be sorry at all. At all. But you also don't have to put up with anything. So if it comes across, if you feel like, look, I depend on you guys and I know for a fact you guys would never boot somebody out because you don't like them. We've been through this all before. I have had people in my chat that I could not stand them. I knew they were bad people. My vibe was off. I just was sitting here watching it all go down. But out of respect for the mods that came in, out of respect for people who were here all the time to support us, and out of respect for Maggie, my co-host, I let it happen. And I know you guys feel the same way. But if whoever comes in here, if they're going to unsub me, numbers are not important to me. I would rather have all of you right here that's right here and never gain another sub, and we all hang out and we have adult conversations and there's no drama, than to just let chat fly and let people hate on each other and be evil. And and talk shit about people. No, not doing it. And I don't want you to do it either. So believe you me, I've never thought, oh, well, that chick, or that dude, they're mean to me. So, that you guys blocked them just out of that. If they're not good for the channel, they're not good for the channel. I don't go check the block list. So we're going to let that fly. Just please remember, don't. Listen, if you didn't like none of us before, you're probably not going to like us now. So just don't hang out. There's other channels. Go on. We're going to be good right here. All right, let's keep going. Kitty Cat, hello. Good to see ya. I think it was a ransom attempt and she passed. Wow. All right. Do they search every card going over the borders? No, not going into Mexico. Coming out of Mexico, like back into the United States, we're pretty damn good at it. But going over to Mexico, no, they just want your money. Why aren't there cadaver dogs searching for her somewhere? Hi, Jean. They did. Day 2, they brought out cadaver dogs and they brought out search and rescue dogs. And they said they didn't find anything. Now, where the cadaver dogs went, I don't think they went enough places. We know they didn't even cross this. We know the searchers did not even cross the street until week 2. So you can't tell me that the dogs went over there. Now, how well they sniff and how far they can sniff out, I don't know. And so I can't say. I don't know. I'd be curious as to, so if she, let's just say she was alive when she left. Did they pick up her scent at the door or inside the house, carry it out to the door, and then wherever she was put in a car, and that's where they lost her scent? We don't know. We don't know. Darlene, you cracked me up. If Ernie didn't get arrested, he'd solve it, y'all. Tomorrow he's going back to he's going oh, Ernie. Poor Ernie. He don't even know me and hear him speaking his name, but it's funny. Oh gee, she can I'm sorry. So she really may have been in the car or boot. That's right. That's an awful thought. Poor family. That's right. That's right. That's why, look, we can't send choppers over the border without getting permission. I understand that. I get that. But to me, when you're that close to the border and you've got the border problems we got in the States and we've got all the ICE issues that we got going on, the first thing I would have done as the sheriff is calling the FBI and have the FBI get in touch with the Mexican authorities and put choppers out there in the desert and see if anything's been disturbed. I just don't see anybody driving 5 hours with a dead body in their car. Can't see it right now. I'll look at it in just a little while, okay? Unless it's important. When was the last time there was a successful kidnap ransom situation? Probably prior to Rockefeller's. I don't know. Anybody know? Wait a minute. Wasn't there, I was a kid. What was the name of Hearst? Was Patty Hearst a ransom situation? Anybody remember that? I just remember being a little kid, my parents watching it on TV. I was sitting on the floor and I had to turn the channel. They made me turn the channel because I was the remote control. Y'all hit that like. It's only from TV, but do the FBI cops tell families not to pay ransom? No. So they can advise. They can advise you what they think you should do. Go ahead and pay it or not pay it. But it is solely up to the family members whether they're going to. So if the FBI or cops said, hey, I wouldn't pay it, we think it's fake, blah, blah, blah. If she said, no, we're going to pay it, and I'd rather lose it and be wrong than to not have done it and be wrong. Hearst was ransom. That's what I thought. And they did get her back. That's one we need to cover here. We need to talk about Patty Hearst. She's cray. I remember a journalist being kidnapped once. No, I think so too. Pepper and nutmeg. I guess you don't know Letitia. She drove with her dad. I forgot about all, but that's a different kind of, oh, you're right. That was terrible. See, that's why we need each other, because I guess I'm just putting my mind into, like right now when I said that, into what I believe these killers to be, because I believe they're killers to be. And I don't think that it's anything professional, anything cartel, anything like that. I just think it has to do with family. But you are completely right. That was terrible. Poor Gannon. God rest Gannon's soul. Michael Scott Moore. Good old Google. That was a sad case. Sad case. Damage said they never received a ransom money and she joined the movement, Stockholm Syndrome. You're right. I didn't remember if they received ransom money or not, and that's how they got her back. And then they got her to a hospital. I can't remember how it ended, but I know that she came back. I just remember pictures of her like in we used to call them, when I was a kid and my dad was in the military, the green uniforms that they would wear, they were called fatigues. And I remember her wearing fatigues and holding up like semi-automatic. Speaking of the gun, I got to bring this up. I was like, should I bring it up? People probably hate me for this, but if you hate me, you hate me. But we got to watch it. We just got to, because this is so telling. We're going to watch my favorite person. If you happen to slip out because you either hate her, well, my favorite person is Maggie, but Maggie doesn't. Me and Maggie and Lizzo and all my posse, we are taking over the Nancy Grace show eventually. Nancy Grace is going to love us, and she's our favorite. We love her. We make fun of her. We want to be her. Anyways, I watched Nancy Grace tonight, and that's what I was really going to show until I got in, and then I remembered other stuff that I wanted. See, that's what I'm talking about. There's never ending stuff to talk about on here. And I love it. So I'm going to bring this up because it's good stuff. And it talks about the pew pew, and it talks about a little bit of everything. It talks about a little bit of everything. And if you don't love that, I don't know what to tell you, but and I like it because she also has professionals, that do this every day and see this every day. And so for those of you that don't want to hang out for our Nancy, my girlfriend right here, I understand. Thank you so much for being here. The ones that want to hang out, I appreciate you wanting to hang out. I am going to have to stop it. I know people don't like to watch that happen, but I have to stop it or else I'm going to lose my channel. No matter how many copyright things I put up to say that, I'm using it for fair use, I will still get struck. So I don't want to lose my channel. I'm trying to play by the rules. Sometimes I don't, but most time I try to. So that's what we're going to do because this has got a lot of good info in it, and I think we need to listen to it. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Will you do me a favor? Hit the thumbs up, the thumbs down. Really doesn't matter to me. I just appreciate you being here, and it lets the algorithm know, hey, I was hanging out over it according to Leanie. All right, let's listen to some old Nancy. Y'all love this girl. I'm gonna tell you right now, we love us some Nancy around here. Y'all get on our level. Watch your ears, guys. I cannot control your volume. All right, I'll try to turn it down. No, I'm gonna leave it. You guys turn yours down and then gradually turn it up so she doesn't blurt out your ears. All right, here we go.
Day 18. This as another threatening, much more threatening ransom note is received. And we learn, contrary to what the search has extended into Mexico. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us. Tonight, we are learning the search has extended into Mexico. This as another ransom note has been received. This ransom note.
Don't y'all think we're a little behind on that? All right, and keep going.
It offers a different Bitcoin address than the others. It is also much, much more menacing. Joining me an all-star panel to make sense of what we know right now to Andrew Black joining us, former special agent in charge of the Tucson office of the FBI, 27 years with the FBI, former felony prosecutor in Chicago, never a lack of business there, currently chief of University of Hawaii Department of Public Safety. Andrew Black, thank you for being with us. What do you make of the FBI now stating they are venturing into Mexico? They are asking Mexico to share information.
It indicates to me that they've got new leads. So many leads have come in. And did you know the FBI also put out a stern warning against people fabricating kidnapping notes or ransoming notes, excuse me. These things take time to run down, and it takes energy and resources from the task force trying to locate Nancy Guthrie. So these types of leads just add to the workload of those on the ground trying to find her. And I suspect this venture into Mexico is based on additional leads that they've received, including information in one of the ransom notes.
As of right now, I believe it is around 40,000 tips that law enforcement has received. I'm sure at least half of those are bogus. If you want to see what type of tips are coming in, just go online. Take a look at Twitter at and take a look at all of the zany theories. Now, on the other hand, some pretty good ideas are surfacing as well. There is a theory right now still, and I'm sure the FBI and local law enforcement is besieged with theories about botched robbery. So can we just put that to sleep now? As in euthanasia, that put to sleep? This is not a botched robbery. This
Euthanasia,
is not a
y'all.
burglary gone wrong. Andrew Black, in a nutshell, why do you believe that Nancy Guthrie was not a random victim?
No, I'm glad you're emphasizing that, because all the indications and the task force working this case, they believe they're working a targeted victim in Nancy, that based on the MO of the individual, he was suited up from head to toe, concealing his identity. He had a backpack. It looked like it was filled with gear. It does not have any of the earmarkings of a robbery or a crime of opportunity. This looks like it was planned, and we do know there's an abduction. Past that, it's very difficult to say what we have following all these ransom notes, that one was, definitely proved to be a hoax, individuals being prosecuted, and these others that keep rolling in to TMZ and other outlets.
When you say it's not a robbery, obviously the guy's bringing in a ton of stuff. His backpack is stuffed to the gills. With robberies, you take things out, you don't carry them in. And let me go out to Josh Colesrud, veteran criminal defense attorney, former felony prosecutor, now founder of Colesrud Law Offices. Josh, I've never seen a burglar or a robber. And the difference is a robber robs from an individual. A burglary is when someone enters a dwelling or business without consent with the intent to commit a felony therein. That felony could be theft. That felony could be or ag assault. The felony could be a number of things, but typically a burglary is unlawful entry with intent to commit a theft. And when the burglar, and this is statistically overwhelmingly true, when the burglar comes in and sees a person, they're like, and leave. They don't want contact with the victim. They don't want to be identified. They want to come in and steal and leave, or come in and leave. And if they do see a victim, they either hightail it or they kill the victim so they cannot be identified. It's 2 + 2 = 4.
Exactly. And Arizona actually distinguishes a burglary of an occupied structure versus a burglary of an unoccupied structure. Now, you can look at the FBI statistics about how infrequent, in fact, there has never been a recorded case where there's been a burglary gone wrong, where the burglary suspects end up kidnapping an elderly woman and keeping her alive. It's a unicorn. It just doesn't happen. And we know that she was alive when she left because the blood trail led to the door and then suddenly just stopped. Like they were putting their hand over her mouth. And there's no indication, no signs and symptoms that this was a burglary gone wrong. So we do need to look at motive here. And it's good that we can cross this motive off. Now we have to look at, was this based on money? Was this based on something else? And only once we determine motive can we kind of narrow down who the subject.
Sorry, y'all, I have to stop it just during this, just so I don't get in trouble. But does anybody forget the other blood that, do we just lose our mind and look at and see that blood and it wasn't blood? The same pictures, if you guys pull it up, of the picture of the blue sweater, jacket, shirt, whatever that was left on a rock there. If you look down, there's drops, not even drops. It's like splatters of blood right next to it. Whose blood was that? And why isn't anybody talking about it? We've talked about it many times on here. We've heard about the blue shirt. We saw the blue shirt. We're like, whose blue shirt's that? Oh, it must be somebody that surely they seen it and they knew it was somebody else's. No, they didn't see it. They didn't see it until a week later and identify who it belonged to. Y'all, I'm going to lose my mind over here.
suspects may be.
To Scott Eicher joining us. He is a founding member of the CAST Cellular Analysis Survey Team at the FBI. 22 years, also a former homicide detective with Norfolk Police, now with Precision Cellular Analysis. Scott, you and I have seen so many cases, prosecuted, investigated cases. I don't mean just talk about them, I mean prosecute them. When a burglary goes wrong, that means somebody's home when the burglar goes in and they leave. Why in the world would a burglar or robber decide, oh, I'll just take the victim with me? Yes, she's 84 and she has a hard time walking, but no problem. It's ridiculous. Burglary, robbery gone wrong. What a waste of breath.
I totally agree on that. Most burglars are trying to get quickly in and then out. They want to grab what is valuable and then get out of that house as soon as possible. They do make mistakes, and every once in a while go in when there's someone else in the house. But you're right, and I totally agree. It's very random that they would hurt the person in the house. They're more want to get away from the scene as soon as possible because they're gonna call the cops on them and stuff like that.
We also know when you're looking at this timeline, there was a 2:00 event, as I have mentioned several times, where her heart monitor spikes, or so we have been told. That's around 2 a.m., which makes me wonder if that's the first time she sees the perp. Then 2:12, software detects the person on a camera, 2:28, but by now the door camera's already been disconnected.
Let's stop right there and look at the timeline. We covered the timeline first in when I first went live. Here it is on big screen and broken down. As you can see, 9:48, the garage doors open. 9:50, the garage door closes. 1:47 a.m., door camera disconnects. 2:00, pacemaker spikes. Doesn't say it stops, it spikes, meaning her heart rate. So at 2:00, is that when she noticed, oh my God? At 2:12, software detects a person on camera. At 2:28, the pacemaker disconnects from the phone, meaning that and it's not the phone, that's wrong. It is well, who knows? I mean, at first they had us believing it was a phone, the next they had us believing it was an Apple Watch. And so, anyways, it connect from her devices, from her cellular, disconnected. Quit reading it. And at 11:56 a.m., the family checks on Nancy. Oh, so it wasn't until midday. Right, because she never showed up supposedly from, she never supposedly showed up to the friend's house that she normally goes to watch church that morning. I don't know, you guys. I don't know.
Okay, I want to talk about DNA. Dave Mack, how many more times can we say it? The DNA on the random glove found about 1.5 miles away from Nancy Guthrie's home, thrown to the side of the street, did not get a CODIS hit. That's the Combined DNA Data Bank, the National Data Bank.
Correct.
Right?
It did not. It did not get a CODIS hit. You're correct.
Okay, which means, if you follow that through, the DNA in the home was not connected to that glove, and the DNA in the home did not get a CODIS hit. Is that correct?
That is correct. It's not all of it, but it's correct.
Okay. What do you mean by not all of it?
Well, there was also a partial DNA collected inside of the home. That partial DNA was sent to the Florida lab, just like the DNA found on the glove and the other DNA found in the house. The difference here is that it is a partial DNA profile, and they have yet to, the people in Florida at the lab have yet to develop it out where it could be checked in CODIS. So that partial DNA that they've developed from inside the home has not yet been subjected to a CODIS hit because it is a partial DNA.
Dave Mack, you're right. And I appreciate the way you said that, because some reporters have stated there was a partial DNA profile and it didn't get a hit at CODIS. The reality is CODIS is a national data bank. It's very, very strict on what DNA profiles, what DNA it will even accept to enter into the data bank. Unlike the data bank there in Arizona. Joining me right now is a DNA specialist.
Yeah, I'm telling you this, if you stick around, this live that she's doing, this program that she's doing is really informative. I learned quite a bit about DNA and the pacemaker and stuff like that from just this one. But I wanted to react to this. Erica says, "Hi, Erica. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Did you know that Annie in Savannah wrote a book about kidnapping in 2024? It was supposed to be funny, and 3 months ago, Savannah showed Nancy's home inside. I know there was a book written. I know there was supposed to be, I think Maggie and Lizzo actually covered that today on their live on this channel. They're talking about a book that was written by Savannah, in that they talked about being kidnapped by an aunt and they wouldn't know that it was happening, and they would call their mom and their mom would come get them, but they were all, and I think it's freaky. I think it's just freaky. And I'm curious to know if you're in chat. Do you guys feel like reading the book now? I mean, do you feel like, let me go get the book so I can get to know? Because I asked myself that today. I was like, should I go get the book? Should I read the book to get into her brain more, and not the reporter's brain or the personality on TV's brain, but her brain? I don't know. Maybe I think I will. Maybe I think I will.
It is Susanna Ryan out of Redlands, California, lab director, forensic DNA analyst at Pure Gold Forensics. She is a forensic DNA consultant at Ryan Forensics, 25 years experience in forensic DNA and serology. Susanna, thank you for being with us. Explain what we are talking about right now, how difficult the high standard there is to get DNA into the data bank, CODIS, as opposed to the Arizona data bank, which I believe is much more likely to yield a hit.
Right. So there definitely are different guidelines, and it's much more stringent, much more difficult to get a profile into the national DNA database. You have to, you might be able to get a partial profile in, but it has to have a certain number of what we call the core CODIS loci. So you have to have results at least 8 of those original 13 loci. It can't be too much of a
number
mixture.
Of core CODIS, what?
Yeah, loci or locations. So we used to look at 13. That was our goal for getting a profile into CODIS. That has since been extended to 20 loci or locations. And the reason for that is we have so many profiles in the database, we needed to start looking at more locations to make the rarity of the profile even greater, because we don't want to get a false hit or an adventitious match.
Susanna, when you are saying loci and you're talking about locations, you need, once it's 14, now it's 20. I'm in my mind comparing this to hits on a fingerprint, where you have, let's just say, 10 points of in identical nature. You only need a certain number for it to be a match. Is that what you're calling a loci?
Yeah, that's a fairly good comparison. It's basically different areas on the DNA molecule. We are not testing the whole molecule. We're picking certain areas that are known to vary greatly between people. So that way we can differentiate between people by just looking at these particular areas. We don't have to try to test the entire DNA molecule.
Okay, so I'm trying to get a layperson's understanding of what you're saying. So you have to have now 20 loci, 20 eccentricities about the DNA to make it different and easily identifiable?
So that's the goal. That's if you had a single source profile, you had a reference sample, you are required to have all 20 of those areas to put it into CODIS. If you're talking about a forensic sample, the requirements are not as strict. You can have less than that, but you still have to have a certain number of locations or, you know, this information.
Feral Cat says, once again, there's a car in the driveway with headlights on. I think you're meaning, let me show it. I think you're meaning back here or right here. Because this is not the driveway. Where are we talking about? Neither one of these are the driveway. The driveway is in a U shape. If we're looking out at the street, it comes in from over here. So the street's back here beyond these trees, right? You come in the street, you could either go.
And it has to meet what we call
Shit, I didn't mean to do that. So you come in through the driveway here. You can either make the U and come right in front of her house and keep going out that way, out the driveway, or you come in through the driveway right here, keep going to the back here, and this is where the guest house in the backyard is. So I'm curious as to what you mean by there are headlights, even though I do believe that there are more, of course, than one person. I think actually when he's looking back right there, the picture that I've got on the screen, he actually stood back up, he looked back. I believe he's looking at the other person because it's spliced. There's 3 splices in this video right here, and I can go over it with you guys to show you. It's just too much of a coincidence for me. I get you, Erica. I get you. Rebecca says, when the cousins got ready to leave, Savannah got in the car and rode with them back to their house. Then they could call Nancy and she'd come get her. It was for fun. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Okay. There's no video of any vehicles on the neighbor's feeds. Barry says it's fake. All right, because just so you guys know, if you scroll into this, I don't know if this is where you're talking about. We've got limited footage on the car or on what was on the street, what was in the driveway, but you can't see the driveway. You can only see this part of the U, and this black piece right here is a handrail for you to walk up. There's like 3 steps right there to step down into the driveway part. So again, the driveway is in a U. It goes like this. Okay. If it goes this way, it's going to drop her off right here in the front. And then you just keep on going out back onto the street, or you bring the driveway in, come around the back of the house. The side of the house right here is the guest house, or you could turn into the garage right there. Okay. So these right here are not car lights at all.
Rarity index. It has to be more rare than what the size of the database is, because if it's not, you could have a false hit. It could match against someone that is in the database but is not actually your perpetrator. And that's specifically the national database. So you're correct that the Arizona database, that is going to have less stringent requirements because there are less people in the database.
So tell me, what is in the AZ database that is not allowed in the national database?
Again, Feral Cat, we all see things differently. I'm not a forensic expert at all. I just, that's just what I see in watching this, like JLR out there and other people out there. You just can't see the drive. You can't see the driveway from, there's no driveway where the way I'm looking at it, there's no driveway there. The way you see it, maybe you see the driveway there, but I don't, and you could be right, and I have no problem with you being right. I love having you here. I'm currently painting a light scene on canvas, listening to your common sense views and very bright community in chat. Thanks, crazy lady. Well, you're welcome, you brat. Lock up tomato, Tabasco, whatever, hot sauce, dude. I'm with you. I'm with you. And until the cops pull me off that fence, I believe he's the mastermind. I don't believe you see him in the videos, but those are his buddies. Fabian says, my biggest thing is why take an 84-year-old that is not very mobile unless she's worth more than we know? Oh, we know she's worth. Homegirl's got money, honey. She's got some money. Put your hands behind your back. Sorry. J. Nelson says, I'm in Arizona, evil state. Oh, fine, Nancy. Our matriarch of the channel is Miss Barbara. Shout out to her. I don't know if she's sleeping or just in the bushes and doesn't feel like chatting, but she is also from Tucson, about 10, 15 minutes away. She used to drive past Nancy's neighborhood whenever she would go to work. So we know a little bit about Arizona. I liked Arizona. I never lived in Arizona. I've driven through Arizona, I should say. So I guess I don't have the right to say one way or another, but I do want to get back there and go love up on Miss Barbara. I think those lights in the distance are from property across the road. That's what I think as well. Fine, Nancy. Yes, this lady has big money, right? When do you usually go live? We go live twice a day, Fabian. I usually pull the night shift. My co-host, Maggie, is from the UK, and she has a co-host, which is now the co-host, and that's Lizzo. They're both from the UK, and they run a daytime live. Now, it's not something we normally do, but for this case, that's what we've been doing. So I don't know where you live. I live in Indiana. I'm on East Coast Standard Time, so or Eastern Standard Time. So my time, they are live about anywhere from 2 to 3 in the afternoon. They do 4 to 5 hours, and then I usually come on anywhere from 12 to this time right here at night. So there will be nights and daytimes that we take off. I'm going to try to get the girls to take off a day because they've been doing this for 2 weeks now. So I'm going to, but what you guys keep your bells, if you don't mind, just keep your bells on. We'll ring them up whenever we're going to go live. We try to always do community posts. Check those out. So if we're not going to be live, we will drop it on the community post so you guys would know not to look for us. But we appreciate you looking for us, and we appreciate you asking when we're going to be on. But yeah, you're going to love hanging out with the British bombshells, y'all. They're great people. They put on a great show, and you're going to love. If you're American, you're just going to be mesmerized by their voices. So that's that. Welcome. Thank you for being here, everybody. Will you do me a favor? Hit the thumbs up, the thumbs down. It really doesn't matter to me. Just let the algorithm know that you were engaging in with this channel in some way. I saw the cops said the family were not person of interest. Was it confirmed? Did the FBI say this? FBI isn't saying anything. The police the sheriff's office is saying that listen, I don't know what to believe. 1 minute they're saying they are, the next minute they're saying they're not, and then the sheriff gets interviewed by Brian Itton, and he said, or by this chick, and she said, so you're saying they're not a person of interest? And then he gets all exasperated, and he's like, well, I'm saying, listen, as far as I'm concerned, nobody is off the list in my list. Nobody. God moved a bullet so Trump could deport Jesus. Oh, that's nice. You're going to have to answer to God for that one, not me. Nancy and hubby had a mining business. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, you're on Eastern. Yep. So it'll be the same time for us. Like today, they'll go live, and it'll be our time about 2 to 3 in the afternoon. And they usually run, like I said, about a 4 or 5 hour live, and then I come on and I do the overnight. So we'll be happy to have you back. Thank you for participating in chat. That means so much to us. Nancy Grace is an opportunist, which a lot of people don't like her. I understand that, JS. Thank you for coming in. I think she's fucking funny. I love to make fun of her. But one day I used to not be able to stand Nancy, to tell you the truth. And the more I watched her, the more I was like, oh, this chick, she cracks me up, y'all. She's like, seriously, like my favorite person to make fun of. We have Nancy things here, you guys. We love Nancy so much here. We make fun with Nancy all the time. All the time we're making fun with Nancy.
A deal with the devil. A deal.
You know what? Cut his mic. You know what?
I mean, this shit's just funny, but I don't know. It took me a long time to come around to Nancy, but I understand some people don't like her. No big deal. Some of my good friends that say they love me so much, they hate her. And that's all right. There's so much backtracking. It's mental. Yes. Hard to keep up with what's facts. It is. That's the truth. Thank you so much, Miss Rebecca. We appreciate you so much. Man, that's really awesome. Did they find her mom? No, Rudolph. Sorry. I don't like, you got to laugh at her, right? I mean, she'll drive you fucking crazy. And she used to drive me crazy. Now just, I'm like, Nancy, mention them twins one more time. See what happens. Mention your twins one more time, Nancy, and I'm coming for you. Did the sniffer get a hit? Nobody has said yes or no. Not that I've seen. I don't know if Lizzo's seen. Lizzo probably, hopefully fell back asleep for a little while because they'll be running a live later. Diamond says Nancy and her husband are relative. I'm sorry. Nancy had a husband or a relative that was murdered. That's why she is this way. Oh. Yeah, it was her fiance. Believe me. She tells us almost every lie. I know. May his soul rest in peace. But Nancy cracks me up. I can't help it. I'm just loving her. I love how rude she can be too. Cut his mic. All right, let's finish watching this.
Database.
Well, we have arrestees in the Arizona database. Not all states allow for arrestees to be entered into the database. Now, this would be particular individuals arrested of a very particular felonies. There'll be legislation defining, who is eligible for upload into the Arizona database. You could have forensic unknowns.
Like who gets in?
So I don't know the specific requirements for the state of Arizona, but it's going to be, it's not going to be someone that's, picked up for some misdemeanor offense. It's going to be particular violent felony offenses that a person who has simply been arrested for this crime and not yet convicted, their profile can go into that Arizona database. Another thing that Arizona has that not very many states have is the ability to do familial searching. And so sometimes when people hear that, they think, oh, we're talking about genetic genealogy, but this is totally different. This is the ability to search the Arizona database for a near match. So we've already searched. We know that we don't have a hit on this DNA profile, but let's look for someone who is closely related, maybe a brother or a father. And Arizona is one of only 12 or 13 states that allow for that sort of searching. So I hope that they do conduct that. That's not something that's automatically done. That's something that has to be requested. So hopefully they will have that conducted because that opens up the database for a whole new category of individuals.
American homeowners, the FBI has been warning about a type of real estate fraud called title theft. Your equity, the target. His tentacles into Mexico. Is there an international DNA database, Susanna?
There is the Interpol database. So that is, I think it's over 80 countries that are part of Interpol, where they will upload qualifying DNA profiles, mostly, unsolved cases like this or other felony cases. And I believe there are over 280,000 profiles in the Interpol database. Mexico does participate in that program.
Wait, how many did you say?
Over 280,000 profiles.
Wow, in the Interpol database, and that includes Mexico.
Yes. It does. Now, I will say that Mexico, in general, they do have a DNA database, but it's not on the same level as our CODIS combined DNA index system database. A lot of what they're focusing on in Mexico is identifying missing persons, or if they have unidentified remains. That's a lot more of their focus than the criminal investigative side, and it's not all connected at a national level at this point.
Wow. Okay. And very quickly, I want to talk to you about how DNA is obtained at a scene, for instance, through UV lighting, causing the DNA, well, does it cause the DNA to fluoresce? But when you look at DNA left on a scene, it fluoresces. And you need near dark or complete dark, or you could use goggles that are tinted red, yellow, or orange to block out light. How does that work?
Right. So what you're referring to is sometimes we use something called an alternate light source, and that helps us identify things like saliva. Those sort of body fluids will fluoresce. Unfortunately, other types of DNA, especially touch or skin cell DNA, does not fluoresce. I wish it did. I wish there was a way for us to, be able to just see it by some, invention like that. But what we have to do is use our best educated guess as to what would have been contacted. Where did this person have to touch to enter the house, for example? Is there anything moved in the home that it looks like this person contacted? And I would imagine that they are focusing on items like that, especially as you pointed out with him touching this perpetrator. He's got a flashlight in his mouth that he's moving around, that he's probably touching. So even though he's wearing gloves, that does not mean he's not transferring his DNA into that house.
And saliva is so DNA rich. He touches it multiple times. He touches the holster of the gun multiple times. Then he reaches out to the doorknob. And we were discussing earlier, Susanna, how the home was found with the front door unlocked and all the lights on in the front of the house, which is not Nancy Guthrie's routine. He turned on the light switch.
Let me stop right there. If you guys listen to this, there's more coming out, you guys. If you listen to people like her reporting, I think it's fabulous because, she's been doing this a long time. She's got sources. She also knows how this forensic stuff and courts and police officers and all that work. And first we heard that, the back door was left wide open. She didn't mention that at all. And if it was, then I think she would have mentioned it. She's saying now that the front door was found unlocked. This is what I'm talking about, trying to keep the facts together, the names, the numbers. Nobody knows. It is here. Leanie, are you home? Hey, Miss Barbara. Yes, I am home. I'm home. I love you, Miss Barbara.
Probably turn on the light switch in Nancy's room or touch her doorknob, which would be an excellent conduit for saliva DNA. It just takes a trace amount. So I guess you're saying that with certain DNA, such as saliva, sperm, urine, you would use the alternate light source. But for touch DNA, it does not fluoresce, so you would swab the likely suspects, the doorknob, light switch, furniture, something that's been moved in the home. Do I have it?
I'm going to stop it right there because I have to bitch a minute, you guys. I have to bitch a minute. I can't help it. It's who I am. Again, I'm just going to keep repeating it until the police hear me loud and clear. You left the fucking mat to the door. It's still sitting there. This guy walked all over the mat in front of the door, all over it. And there could be touch or transferred DNA from his car, from the bottom of his shoes, from his house. Something could be on that mat, and the mat is still right outside the door.
So far?
Yeah. Yes, 100%. Yes.
Speaking of the gun, straight out to Andrew Black, joining us, former special agent in charge of the Tucson FBI office. let's talk about the gun. Oh, wait, I've got to show you a picture. Hold on. Apparently, our perp wears a pinky ring. Take a look at this. We've zoomed in on, there you go. Look at that, Andrew Black. That's his right hand. I have analyzed and gotten multiple other people to analyze. Was it his ring finger? But it appears to be pinky. Look at that.
Very stylish.
Look at the shape of that. Hey, move out just a little bit more. Do you guys agree this is the pinky? At first, I thought it would be the ring finger.
Again, I'm going to stop right here because I know Lizzo and Maggie covered this and they talked about there being a ring. And I know Lizzo, I think Liz had brought up a different type of picture. I think it was Liz that had done that and talked about this guy is wearing a ring. What a dumbass. But anyways, I'm not, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me at all. But what says you? Have you guys heard that there is a ring? I mean, I don't know. I'm not an expert, but the way Liz presented it, it looked like a ring to me. I still think it's a ring.
Move out a little bit more. Move out a little bit more so we can see the full hand. Yeah. Okay. What do you think, Andrew?
That's a tough one for me. If they're saying it's on the pinky, then it is a pinky ring and he has some sort of style or flair. Obviously, he doesn't have that same flair in his approach to committing a home invasion as we saw in the video that we're looking at right now. The gun, that appears to be a semi-automatic weapon. As you can see, the handle, there's no hammer. It's and it looks like there's a magazine at the end of it. The holster is really strange. I haven't seen one like that. That appears to be a revolver. And you can see there's a snap going over where the hammer would be on a revolver. So it's a really unusual and unprofessional method for carrying really any type of weapon in front of your groin like this, but placing a semi-automatic weapon which could slide out quite easily in a revolver holster is unprofessional, to say the least, and awkward.
Could you very slowly go through again what you said for those listening that are not gun aficionados?
Stop it right there just a second because I want to get into chat. Good morning, Veronica. Good to see you. Janet High says, are Lizzo and Ricky the same ones that said he was wearing expensive clothes? Are you talking about Maggie and Lizzo? Maggie's my co-host. Lizzo's her co-host. I don't think they've ever said that they were wearing expensive clothes. I'm the one that said that he's, to me, the jacket that I see him wearing is like maybe something from Dick's Sporting Goods, meaning it's that kind of material that dry fit material, like that's what I said. And I know those can be more expensive than Walmart clothes. But now they're saying they're Walmart clothes. So I know Walmart does sell some dry fit material jackets. I still think that's what that is. But what do I know? Tashi said, count the knuckles. It looks like the ring finger. Hi, Susan says, wow, I can't believe this poor lady hasn't been found. Prayed she did not or is not suffering. Amen. Veronica, first time hearing about the ring. Tashi does not think it is the pinky. Diamond says they tipped him off to now wear his ring. To not wear his ring? If that was a ring, yeah, not wear his ring. I see you, Diamond. You're right. I don't think he's wearing a ring now. I thought he was wearing a ring. Don't Mexican men wear pinky rings? I don't know about that. I don't think many American men wear pinky rings. English men wear pinky ring. Oh, King Charles, He's got him a pinky ring. I did see, I wanted to welcome in our matriarch to the channel. Y'all welcome in Miss Barbara Smith. She says, I love you. Just woke up. Didn't go to sleep from Tuesday morning until tonight. Glad to wake up to you all. We're so glad you're here. I knew you were probably asleep or dozing off up there. Let's see. Jill says, the eyes look like a girl's eyes. I swear I can't get over it. Listen, girl, we're right there with you, girlfriend. I'm just saying, whenever we see this dude, because I think it is a guy. I mean, the police came out and said it's a male and gave his height and about his weight and all this other stuff. I'm telling you, if this is it truly, in fact, a guy, he's got the most beautiful eyes I've seen. Not pinky. It's on the ring finger, and you have to zoom back out to see it clearly. Get with it, Nancy. My sources say, Nancy, that it is the ring finger. Good to see everybody here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, the thumbs down. It doesn't matter to me. Just let the algorithm know that you're interactive with the channel. That means so much to me. Thank you so much. He would like to take this moment to bring up my twin. Hal, listen, I'm yelling at Nancy all the time. Don't even act like you're crying about them twins again, Nancy. I cannot handle it. Hi, Karen. Karen says, yes, the eyes look like a woman. I don't know what to think of this. Right. Good to see you again, Jill. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate you guys being here so much. You know you can't glue on a mustache and a beard. Hey, I've seen some women. Y'all don't get me started. Y'all been on YouTube long enough. You know, when you know, you know. Fabian said, syndicates that wear pinky rings. Usually old school organized crime, mob families, elite gangs, or secret networks. Oh, good point. Good point. The rings aren't just jewelry. They're a signal, rank, power, and membership. That's correct. You're right. I didn't even think about that. Mary Hyde says, I thought the eyes looked like a woman. When I first saw them, you guys, I was like, oh my God, y'all, that's a woman. And then when we saw the whole body, I was like, if they don't have a woman body, but whoever this is has got beautiful eyes. I'm just going to say that right now. Ellie Pup says, hi, Janet. Phillips means lover of horses. Though I would share that when I saw your name. Thought I would share that when I saw your name. How nice. Charles has a sausage ring. Chuck, I love me some Chuck now, y'all. A lot of men wear those rings. Yes. I thought same pretty eyes. I noticed it, man, gorgeous eyes. Look at the legs, the knuckles. He's got girly eyes, guys. He's got girly, you know, they always, I get so jealous of men. Every time I see their beautiful long lashes, I'm like, I hate you. And, you know, and I don't really hate them. And then they just kind of look back and why? And I'm like, we women pay a lot of money to have your kind of eyelashes. I see you, little boy. Hold on. Eyes look like girls, straight on, but not the pick of his side view. Okay. You think he's got woman legs, do you? If he's a guy, he's got great makeup skills. I wear a pinky ring. Go ahead, Damage. Go ahead. These guys are kicking the sheriff and Cash Patel's butt. Yes, they are. Cash and the drunk sheriff are weak. Mark, we're right there with you, honey. Right there. I don't even use his name anymore. He's just sheriff. I don't know. That's all I got to say about that. I hear you, little boy. Hold on. Did they check the phone towers for the night to see who was beeping? Good. If they did, Retha, they sure didn't let us know, did they? They're just hiding a lot from us. That's the truth. Miss Barbara Smith, there was a mugshot of suspect. Yes, eyes were identical. Pimps wear pinky rings. That's what I'm talking about. Pimps. P-I-E-M-P, pimp. They're keeping so many cards to their chest, leaves us all asking so many questions. That's right. That's right. But he's got light color lashes. Oh, okay. See, I think he's got dark color lashes because I've got white eyelashes, and his to me are gorgeous. You guys have reached the quiet chat. Yeah, I thought, where did the last phone ping? Where? It would be really nice to know. They're not going to tell us, you guys. And what they're telling us, half of it's a lie. I'm just saying. Michelle says the sheriff's department really. That's good. The sheriff department has a reality TV series. Well, they should. It's called Desert Law. Girl, I'm telling you what, I never heard a man in power or in a position of authority say, I don't know more than that man has. All right, let's get back to it.
You started with saying it is a revolver holster. Now, please explain your reasoning.
Okay, there are two basic handguns. There's a revolver, which has a cylinder, and each time the trigger is pulled or squeezed, the cylinder turns, the hammer comes back, and then it hits the back of the casing of the chambered round in the cylinder. A semi-automatic pistol like we see here, the firing mechanism is different. The rounds of ammunition are not in a cylinder, they're in the handle of the gun in what is called a magazine. That's where you load the rounds of ammunition. And rather than an exposed hammer coming back, very typically, a semi-automatic pistol will not have a visible hammer. There are certain models, but this is not one of them. As you can see, it's flat. And so this is a weapon. You can see there's a black strap that should be over the revolver, if this was a revolver, securing the hammer. Here we have a semi-automatic pistol loosely sticking into this revolver holster, and it's not what it was intended for. Doesn't mean it can't work. It's working here, but it's an awkward way to carry a weapon.
So this is a semi-automatic weapon. Now, what more can you tell about the gun? Many people think it's a Walther. What do you think?
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that because of the graininess of the picture. I don't want to commit to saying it's one model over another. And there are various models of Walther, but that's the popular belief, Walther or a similar type, which is a smaller type of handgun, easily concealable. That's what James Bond carries, one version of the gun that he carries. And yeah, definitely semi-automatic. Can't say for sure myself that it is a Walther, but it resembles one. And this helps, and that may be why one of the leads we've heard about is the purchase of Walther weapons at gun stores in the area. So this is a positive lead to follow up on, of course, along with the unusual holster he's using.
Andrew Black, what did you say about James Bond?
James Bond carried a Walther P.
You guys have to stop right there because that made me crack up. First, Miss Barbara said, how about the real dumbasses of the desert? That would be right. The other thing is, did you guys see Nancy's face when he brings up James Bond? This is such a guy thing. I mean, like Nancy's watched, I don't know if she's watched James Bond, but when I first watched this on TV before I brought it to you guys, when he said James Bond, I was like, what the hell? I never watched James Bond. How the hell? What do I care what the hell James Bond's doing? Y'all gotta rewind just a little bit because you always see Nancy's face like, the fuck are we talking? That's the way I am. Hold on.
But it resembles one. And this helps. And that may be why one of the leads we've heard about is the purchase of Walther weapons at gun stores in the area. So this is a positive lead to follow up on, of course, along with the unusual holster he's using.
Andrew Black, what did you say about James Bond?
James Bond carried a Walther P, similar type of weapon in the movies. And that's the manufacturer apparently of this weapon, or what experts are saying. I can't identify it for sure, but that's what I've read from what's being reported on the type of weapon suspected of.
Hi guys, Nancy Grace here. Between PMs 8803 car theft. Iker, what do you believe the FBI can do with this, or law enforcement, to identify the type of gun? Because I believe guns are like cars. And I've worked with the car theft division at APD, Atlanta Police Department, and they're brilliant. They can look at a car coming a block away and go, oh, yeah, that's a 1995 Toyota Camry. Like, how do you know that? Because they do it all day long. Like, I can look at a police report and say, oh, this is aggravated assault, this is kidnapping, this is blah, 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 blah. That's what you can prove from this one page of a police report. They can look at a car and tell me what the make, model, and year is. There are people that can look at a gun and do pretty much the same.
Yes, there's experts all around the world that are very good at visually identifying a weapon. Now, as Andrew said, this is grainy photo. We don't see the whole weapon itself. So, I mean, I suggest that a lot of people are just making their best estimate of or guess of what this is, but we don't know for sure. Obviously, you know, the gun store visits are helpful, and hopefully we can maybe narrow down suspects by going to the gun stores and hopefully find someone that purchased that type of semi-automatic weapon. We've got a lot of things to go on, and it's a lot of work to go to all the gun stores and all the Walmarts, because we're looking for who bought or people that bought the type of holster. I agree with Andrew in the aspect that holster is not made for that gun, and that probably will allow that gun to very easily slip out of that holster.
Back to Dave Mack joining us, Crime Stories investigative reporter. Now, another missive has been received by Harvey Levin over at TMZ. It's much more threatening. What do we know about the latest ransom note?
Well, Harvey Levin and his team at TMZ say this particular new ransom note is highly sophisticated, involving a different cryptocurrency than Bitcoin. We know that was the main play earlier, was that they wanted it paid out in Bitcoin, the ransomer did. Now TMZ obtains this new note and saying it's highly sophisticated. I'm not really sure what that means, except that the demand involving cryptocurrency other than Bitcoin is still for about the same amount, around $6 million. The email demanding this dollar amount to a different account number, too, than had been previously received by TMZ. And there's a side note to all of this, Nancy. The email graphically describes the consequences of not paying up, of not following through with this ransom demand. I don't know, again, exactly what it is, but they're saying very specific, graphic consequences. Also, the FBI is stepping up, and they're saying if you decide you want to try to pull off a fake ransom on the family, you will be going to prison for a long, long time. They're adding this to the mix because they're fed up with all of the sidetracks and chasing rabbits. But again, you mentioned it, another missive sent to TMZ, this one different than had been previously received.
Andrew Black, let's talk about Bitcoin alternatives. You've got, let's see, Ethereum, ETH, you've got Litecoin, LTC, XRP for crossing border settlements. You've got Binance, BNB, Cardano, so many Bitcoin alternatives. What do you make of the most recent ransom note demanding an alternative to Bitcoin, same amount, $6 million?
You know, I think I don't give a lot of credibility to these ransom demands. They take up a lot of energy on law enforcement. But you have to follow up on them. So, in my opinion, it's another opportunist, another crime of opportunity. Yet law enforcement has to follow up on this because, it's a lead. And if, God forbid, this person does know something about who's holding Nancy or where she is, and you neglect it, you can't go back. So as the leads come in, you prioritize them in the command center. You have a team that does that, and then you follow those leads where they take you.
Back to Josh Colesrue joining us, former federal prosecutor, now criminal defense attorney in this jurisdiction, Arizona. Question to you regarding any ransom note is a crime, but false ransom notes are also a crime. Explain the legal theory and the penalties behind a false ransom note. We already know Kallela has been charged under 18 USC 875. So he's looking at time in the slammer for a fake ransom note.
Yeah, Derek Kallela from San Diego was charged with 2 counts submitting a fake ransom note to Savannah Guthrie, and he faces up to 20 years in prison for those counts. And I was really happy that the U.S. attorney here, threw the book at him. They needed to set an example because these types of things can really derail an investigation. It takes time and resources away from investigating real leads. And here, with this new ransom note, what I want to know is, what indicators are there that they have new information that has not been released to the public? Or are there personal anecdotes that could be provided by Nancy Guthrie herself to show that she's still alive? We just don't have any of that information here. And, I have to agree with my colleagues that I'm very skeptical at this point in time that this is a legitimate ransom note.
Scott Eicher, weigh in.
This new ransom note, we've been told that it was very graphic on what's going to happen to Nancy if they don't pay, but why would you have to put that into the ransom note? Savannah and the family have already said, we will pay. So that would give, at least to me, another indication that this is another fake ransom.
Hi, guys. Nancy Grace here. Please join us. 5324 800-225-5324, or if you wish to remain anonymous, 520-882-7463, 520-882-7463. There is a $200,000 reward for information leading to Nancy Guthrie. That's nearly $250,000. Thank you to our
All right. What says y'all? Listen, I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it right now. I was skeptic after, I wasn't skeptic. I was just a non-believer of the ransom thing from the very beginning. But I was holding out hope until the first deadline. After the first deadline passed and they didn't pay the money, I was like, okay. But my question is, Diamond, that is a great question. I think yours is better than mine. Diamond Lucidity says, do you think the perps are nervous? What do you guys think? I think if they're in a different country, they're not nervous at all. I think if it's family, yeah, I think they're nervous as hell. But if they're in a different country, I think they're going on with their life. I think all these ransom notes are just people trying to jump on the train, see if they could get anything out of them. That's just my opinion. You guys may have a different opinion than I do about ransom, and that's fine as well. It's just dumb. It's just, why would you go from one ransom and say you've got at first I couldn't understand the first one and the second one. So then the first one I was like, I'm done with it. And then because I couldn't understand, I was like, who the hell sends another ransom note? And then I got to thinking, well, maybe the first ransom note said, if you get us the money by this time, then you can have your mother back alive. If not, we have another deadline and you can get us the money and you can have her body. And after that, it's gone. So if the ransom notes are legit, I think it's only the first two. After that, I think they're all copycats, want in on the funny business. They think it's funny. When my son's school had a school shooting, let me just use this as an example. Sorry for those that's heard it before, but my baby child school had a school shooting, and the point of contact was the high school. This was in his junior high school. The point of so we all had to go to the high school, and we were all standing out there for hours and hours and hours waiting to get our kids back. And two kids inside the school decided to send out a message saying that they were going to shoot up the school because they wanted to be let out that day, right? They were going to get something from it, so they used it. Well, they were too stupid to realize that they sent out the messages on their iPads, which is what our state uses. We don't use books anymore. We use iPads. And so I turn around once it went through the crowd that there's another shooter, but it's now in the high school where they just took my son to after he had already been through a school shooting. All of us parents are just freaking out and everything. We turn around. I'm not kidding you. I'd never seen SWAT in real time. I've only seen them on the news, but when I saw them that day, it kind of felt like salvation. It really did. Walking into that building, they were in complete tactical, complete black. All I felt was salvation was happening for my kid in that school. Now that there's another school shooter in there, y'all, it wasn't 45 minutes later, they walked out with the two kids that made the funny. They were just trying to get out of class because they locked down the high school and all the school in Indianapolis at that time when that happened. Y'all, it was just, I think that's all this is. I think it's all it is. I think people think it's funny, A, and B, who's to say that now the family just won't go ahead and throw some money? Look, nobody's going to bring up two different types of currency, y'all, because the first one didn't work. Let's try this one. We ain't stupid. I mean, we're not. So I'm the whole Harvey Levin came out yesterday and said, if TMZ gets anything else, they're not putting it public. Why? Because you're a fucking joke. And I wonder if they're getting bad, if their ratings or whatever going down, because somebody in chat, I saw it said, TMZ is the Inquirer. You're exactly right. TMZ is not a news source. They're not a news channel. They're the paparazzi. That's what they made their money on. That's what they made their name on. And nobody in their right freaking mind is going to send TMZ ransom notes. It's more believable that they went to the news station. And it would have been more believable had they sent the ransom notes to Savannah Guthrie's news station. That would have been completely believable to me. But the most believable thing would have been that we didn't wait 3 to 4 days to hear from the people who were supposedly holding her for ransom. It's all bullshit, you guys. It's all bullshit. Let's see. Yeah, I saw angels. It just looked like complete salvation. I mean, you have no clue when you're that scared and you haven't seen your son. You've heard his voice because it was terrible. Talk about that another time, but it was terrible. So when I turned around, when I thought there was another school shooter in the high school where they had just bust my kid too, I thought I was going to lose my mind. I was going into that school to go get my baby. You hear me? So when I turned around and saw all that SWAT, and I mean, they were arm to arm, y'all. I mean, I don't fuck with SWAT for nothing. You hear me? Nothing. Let's see. Lulu says, Erica, yeah, hope they go into a room with Nancy's son and provides him with the proof. I am sure he could save many tax dollars for his fellow citizens. Sorry, y'all. one word distraction, and now I will shut up. I say that all the time. I'll shut the hell up. Let's see. I've had a busy few weeks, extra work, travel, illness. I'm so confused, but also so intrigued. We love our Lulu. She just got engaged to a very. We love her betrothed here as well. Lulu got engaged on Valentine's night. Had no clue whatsoever. He got her and got her good, y'all. Got her good, and it was announced right here on the program. Our co-host, who actually was going to bed, Lulu got in touch with her, and so she got to come back on, and we thought it was something about the case, and instead it was Maggie announcing that Lulu got engaged, and we're so happy for her. A gossip paper, ancient. That is right. That is right. Do you believe it is her son? I think everyone sees a beloved mom or Nana, and Nancy's face touched all of our hearts. Right. Isn't it weird how you get so invested in someone's life like this, and then all of a sudden they're not a stranger anymore in a weird way? Like you take them on, But that, to me, that just shows good. I don't know, like you have a heart. If you can feel something, like compassion or even pity if need be, and you're so worried, it just shows you're a good person. Melly Joe says 3:30 watching, only 63 likes. I'm sure we're worth more than that, guys. We all do us a favor, hit the thumbs up, the thumbs down. Maybe I'll quit saying the thumbs down. Maybe everybody hit the thumbs down. That's what it was, Mel. Y'all do me a favor, hit the like, double tap your screen. It's really easy. Just hit it twice. Call it a day. Well, Valentine's Day survives. Congratulations, Lulu. That's right. That's right. Lulu says we felt so special. Yeah. You know what? That may get Leanie over to Australia to watch my girl get hitched, and then I can make fun of her. Anyways, guys, you know what? We've been on now for 3.5 hours, a little over. I think I'm going to hit the hay. I've got some stuff to do in the morning. I've showed you everything I want to show you. There's so much more that I could say, that I could do, but my voice is terrible, and you guys have heard enough of me. So I'm going to shut the hell up. I'm going to close this one out. I'm going to thank you all for being here. I'm going to thank everybody that did hit the like. If you didn't, can you do that on the way out? I would appreciate it so much. Last person in, shut off the lights. You guys be safe. Lock your doors. Be safe. Call and tell your mom you love her, and your dad. Call them and tell them you love her. And listen, I had to remind my baby child today when he brought his niece back over here, so she could go home from her college visit. My kids are all really good about giving me a hug, even if we're only seeing each other for 5 minutes or whatever. But he had something he had to get done at college, and so he's running back out the door. And I was like, "Boo!" And he came running back up to me. I was like, "Don't ever let someone you love walk away from you without hugging them." And he was like, "I'm sorry, Mom. I'm late." And I was like, "I understand. I just really want you to understand how important that is, because you never know when the last time is. And listen, grief is hard enough, but when you have to handle grief with a guilty heart, it makes it even tougher. So tell those that you love, that you really do love them. And listen, you don't have to slobber all over them or lick their face or anything else. Just tell your people you love them. Make sure they know. That way, whenever it's their time, you knew that they knew as well. All right, guys, thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. You guys rock the Casbah. To the mods, you guys, I can't thank you enough for the time that you're putting into this case, as well as we are. To all the chatters, you guys are the whole reason why I come back, because if I didn't have people chatting, I would just stay over in Discord and make fun of my friends. So thank you for that. to those that have subbed up, that I don't even know what to say about that. That's just amazing to me that people would want to hang out, and it's just crazy to me. I'm so grateful for every one of you, and to our beautiful matriarch here. You are well loved. I love you, Miss Barbara, and you are well loved here, and we thank you for all the support. All right, guys, next time, Liz and Maggie will be on today. Like I said, Eastern Standard Time, 2 to 3 o'clock. Get your bells turned on so that we can ring them. Nothing more we like to do than to ring people's bells. Love you guys. Thank you for coming in. Y'all be good or be good at it. See you next time, guys. Bye.